everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode, Session 9 of Arcanarama. I'm Cameron Holt, YouTuber over at Fantasy Forge by day, and Dungeon Master here at Arcanarama by night. Things might look a little different for you right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week. Literally, when we were filming last week's session, we didn't have any of this. And now it's here. So yeah, I wanted to give a huge thank you to Katie and Taylor for allowing us to use your space and your hands and all of your work, and Sam as well, for helping make this a living thing that's wild to be sitting inside of.
Crazy.
And I also wanted to give a shout out to our support system, as it were. The reason that we're doing this, so I'm gonna shout out a couple of names, starting with Dark Phoenix Born, M-01, Taco Giorno, Rostone, Butterfly 4205, Avenging Penguin, Black.exe, Hoop and Stick Workshop, 11-Day-Old Kobold, E-Firm, and Choli Gibbs. You are the OGs, and we did this for you guys.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching and for interacting with us and allowing us to do this ridiculous thing that we've done.
Look at it. Look at it.
It's so crazy. We love all of you, and we love each other, which is how we got through this.
How many days old do you think 11-Day-Old Kobold is now?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know?
I think they came in on like session 2 or 3.
Yeah, they gotta be a couple days old now.
I'll do the math after this stream.
You're at least a month old now. Get it together.
Before we hop into tonight's episode, we do have a couple of announcements. The first one coming from me is that everyone leveled up to level 4, which I forgot to announce on the stream last time. But that's a thing that happened, which is very exciting. So everybody has rolled their hit points and gotten their either ability score improvements or feats that they're going to take, and maybe we'll get a peek at those today. Taylor has a few words from our sponsors.
Hi.
Take it away, Mr. Higginbottom.
What?
Hello, I'm Mr. Higginbotham, here with your sponsor announcements. The first of which is from Armadillo Ale Works. They got coffee. They got other liquids. You gotta be over 21 for most of them.
Oh my god, they got liquids?
They got sodies. They got Kitty Scratch Kitchen baked goods. They got an arcade. They got a stage.
Whoa.
It's
They
a
have an
whole thing.
arcade?
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah, it's a little corner.
That's cool. I didn't
It's
know.
not so bad. I think I want to say the Simpsons game is over there. Is that something
so.
that I saw?
Nice.
Which is like the best arcade cabinet in the world. And they're the best brewery in the world, apart from our second sponsor, which is Carbach Brewing.
Oh my god.
They're out of Fort Worth, and every time we burp, it's their fault.
No matter what we're drinking.
And you can find Armadillo Ale Works at www.armadilloaleworks.com for anything you need, everything. Contact them. They have toilet paper. They have mouthwash. And Carbach Brewery is at carbachbrewing.com. And our final sponsor for the evening, which is kind of the big boy.
The big boy.
Big boy.
Big boy. Is More Fun Comics and Games here in Denton, Texas. Everything nerdy you need in your life is in this one store. You saw it in the pre-roll. You're going to see it again in the mid-roll. They have everything. I went in there just to pick up the prize for this week, and I couldn't leave.
It's still there.
I'm still there.
Yeah, I was actually watching the pre-roll for the first time as it was happening, and I was like, they have Citadel paints in droppers?
Yeah.
So now I have to go there.
Yeah, they have everything that you could possibly imagine in our realm. You should go visit them at morefuncomicsandgames.com. And if you want to check out their game center to rent out a space to play, you can morefuncomicsandgames.com/locations.
Hell yeah. Did you want to talk about the giveaway that they've given us this week?
I don't remember if we got to an agreement on that. But the giveaway this evening, the first one is a Rainbow D100 dice. It is gigantic. It is potentially a weapon. And it's beautiful. It's amazing. It kind of shines like whole types of different colors. I don't know if we have the shot
Yeah,
up.
I don't know
can't
if- I don't
see
know.
over there.
Yes, we do
have it.
Okay.
It's up there.
It's so iridescent.
But
It is
it is wildly
gorgeous.
iridescent.
If any of us could reach it, we'd roll it
It is
around for you, but it would never stop.
And it's super dope. And expect more prizes for more fun as the weeks go on.
Yeah. And it's so awesome to be able to be supported by and in turn support our local game store.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool, and you
that's
should
the
always
one I
support
go
local.
to. That's the one where I got half of my dice.
It was
Yeah.
more fun. Which is very cool.
But yeah, thanks, more fun.
Thanks,
Tim.
More Fun.
Thanks, more fun.
Thanks, Tim.
Hell yeah. Up next, we have even further announcements. I think Kitty has some exciting news about merch.
Well, I sure do. We have merch
Should've been
coming.
a character.
Finally. No. We finally have merch coming in the form of shirts and stickers to start. We're trying to get our numbers together. So if you are interested in getting a shirt or stickers or both, you can let us know in our general chat in the Discord, which there's a link to in the About section of the Twitch page. Or you can go right now and chat merch in the comments in the chat. This will just help us let our printer know what sort of workload they have coming at them. But yeah, we're very excited.
Yeah,
Very
and again,
excited.
going through a local print shop and supporting local, so we really do need to get an accurate count
Yeah.
so that we can know what that workload is going to be like for them. I believe Samantha wants to talk to us a little bit about social media.
Social media.
Who needs it?
We have it. So, our social media is where we're going to tell you guys all about any announcements or behind the scenes stuff or important things that may be coming up, cancellations, extra shows, getting you all excited about stuff. We do secret reveals of possible merch to come. So if you like to be in the know before everybody else, you should follow us. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as Arcanarama Show, and on TikTok because we're like the youths. We're like them.
We're like them.
We're not them.
We're like them, but
we're
over
like
there.
them.
I'm a dead youth.
On TikTok, we're just Arcanarama.
I also love that she says this as we are not like the youngest people and both on like this side of the table. We are the youths.
Listen, I can't stay up past 9 p.m. and my back hurts. We're not the youths anymore. Also, my little brother says things to me I don't understand, so I think I've passed youth. There's slang. I don't get it. Anyway, those are our social medias, the usual ones, the ones that I know you have. The one you might not have, though, is Discord. And like Kitty said, that's where we're going to get the really, really important stuff from you guys, like knowing how much merch we need, because you've asked for it and we want to bring it to you, and we want to wear it on our bodies. So our Discord is linked in our About page. You can go there, you can hang out with all of our friends that Cameron listed earlier, and they'll be very nice to you. They're very sweet, and we love them. And we're also in there, and we hang out and we chat. We also now have a sub Discord, a channel, youths.
Younger by the minute.
We now have a channel for our Convorama questions, which will take priority because then we can kind of pre-plan and allow our host of the evening to have an idea of what they're going to be talking about that day. So hang out there. If you have questions during the episode, you can go ahead and throw them up so you don't forget. We also have Tales from the Portal, so you can talk about your games at home or ask questions. We'll probably pop in there and either praise you for being a super good DM or player, or we can help you figure out how you're going to hurt your players.
Or how to make them cry.
We also have a fan art channel on there, because there's a couple of you now, and we want to see your art. You're all amazing, so you can put it in there. Or, those other social media pages back there that I was talking about, the ones that we all like. You can also tag us Arcanarama on Instagram and Twitter, and we will find it and we will look at it with our eyes.
And it may even end up being featured on
somewhere.
our stream.
It will definitely make Miranda cry, though.
And we will
Absolutely.
retweet it, and we will praise you.
Yes.
And it
we'll
will be
film
great.
Miranda crying and share it with
Absolutely.
you and prove what you've done.
That's all I've wanted.
I'll put it on the ceiling over my bed.
And then we will show it to our friends and family, and we will say, "Look at these humans who watch our show. That's crazy, right?"
Validate me.
Anyway, that's been social media.
Yeah. One little thing to tack on there. We are going to be kind of going to Discord because this lovely tavern that we all find ourselves in still needs a name. And we feel like it would be a little bit more special if we got those suggestions from you guys. So if you want to name our play space,
Yeah.
go ahead and hop in the Discord and give us your suggestions.
What are some finalists that we came up with, Kitty?
Did we have any?
I only remember one.
Oh, Arcanarama.
Yeah. And I had to put my foot down pretty hard from the get-go on that one.
Okay, this set, as we mentioned, wasn't in existence last week, which means there hasn't been a lot of sleep happening.
Yeah, we literally finished building this day before yesterday. And then towards the end of it, we were like, oh, we should probably name it. And that was the best we came up with.
It's the best that there is.
It was very late.
It was
We're
4
tired.
a.m.
So
It's the best we came up with, and the moment it was said, it was we should take it to the fans.
So hop into our Discord. We would love to have you. It's a very small community. We're all very active there. So if you have any questions for us or anything, we're here for you. So we hope to see you there. One more quick announcement. One more sponsor this week, me. Our second giveaway this evening, which will be taking place at the end of the stream, is this beautiful set of Fantasy Forge dice, the Curse of Strahd dice. They've got blood red and black swirls of mist floating through clear with gold flakes. They're beautiful. You're probably looking at them on the screen. I don't know what's happening.
They are.
But they're lovely. And they could be yours. So stick with us to the break to see how you can win the beautiful rainbow, very heavy metal D20, which we will announce right after break who's winning that. And stick with us till the end to see if you could win the full set of Fantasy Forge Strahd dice. Strahd dice. But in the meantime, I guess we've got a show to do.
I guess we've got a show.
We're still getting things set up around here, so we aren't going to have our intro play this evening. So we're just going to hop right into it and immerse ourselves in tonight's episode of Arcanarama. Previously on Arcanarama, you were all led to an old converted windmill by Vial Lerval, the surviving cultist that you found in the Castellanter crypts near 2 freshly dead bodies. As you arrived at the windmill and she led you inside, you saw what appeared to be the Stone of Golorr being handed off to a pack of flying devils that took off out the window. You had a quick fight with a couple of fanatics who took you on, and you made short work of them before leaping out the window and starting the rooftop chase. The chase went on for quite some time as you ran along the rooftops following the devils, which then swooped down into an alleyway, flew into a carriage that took off. You chased it through the streets and discovered it was being driven by none other than someone in the livery of House Castellanter, and that Wilfred Crowell, the fancy butler, was inside.
The fancy butler.
Or at least a doppelganger with his face. The devils flew inside, handed off the stone, and you all set up a trap, managing to get ahead of them on their way to the Castellanter Villa. Cut them off with some magic and some more chaos erupting in the streets as Wilfred Crowell took off through some very lucky gripping. Alma, I believe, noticed that the Stone of Golorr was in his pocket. So you chased him through the streets, caught up to him, and by the time you caught him, it appeared that he had been pickpocketed of the stone by a young orphan delinquent.
It will go unnamed.
She has a name. She and her friends disappeared into the sewers, where you chased them down and caught up with them eventually They were perturbed, told you where the stone was. They said it tried to talk to them, and it scared them, and they ran off. They pointed at it, and it was being covered by a rocking chair mimic, which you, again, made quick work of, and finally had your hands on the Stone of Golorr, only to be promptly arrested when you exited the sewer for the commotion caused in the street. The doppelganger met you in your prison cell, a holding cell in the courthouse in the dock ward, and tried to trick you before being found out, and then instead flipping it and trying to frame you for murder and escape from your cells. And that is where we left off last week, with the doppelganger blocking the cell door from closing after just headbutting himself into it, and you hear footsteps overhead quickly approaching. I need all of you to roll initiative, but know that this doesn't mean that we're instantly going into combat. This is simply to kind of get a point of order to see who's going to act first and what you do. You are welcome to hold your turn and react to the next person if you would like, or if you have an idea of something that you'd like to do, you can do that as well. So go ahead and roll initiative. Anybody 25 to 20?
Yeah, hang on.
Oh, jeez.
31.
31.
23.
6.
12.
All right, so that's Cholula, Alma, Silas, Ollie. All right, Cholula. The doppelganger has just slammed himself through the door, and with the face of Captain Justus Staggett is lying there blocking the doorway from being closed. His face is a little messed up now from all of his theatrics and trying to get this open as you were trying to force the door closed. You hear footsteps overhead.
Can I tell how close the footsteps are from being in the room?
Make a perception check as a free action.
12.
12. Best guess, you'd say you maybe have maybe a minute before they get down the stairs.
A whole minute?
Based on how long it took you guys to get in, and like there was a little bit of processing there, where I'll remind you guys that Alma's caster identification card was taken, and she was her shackles were changed out for a different set. The rest of you were also unshackled when you were placed into the cell, but Alma was not.
Okay. You said he's pressed up against the door, or has he broken it?
So he broke through the doorway and kind of fell so that if you tried to close the door, it would shut on his midsection.
Okay.
He's trying to block you from locking yourself in, because that's what he got the vibe you were trying to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going
Rip it
to...
and rip it freely.
Can I send a bird?
You can absolutely try and send a bird. It would take your full action to write it, and then probably it would start flying away on your next turn.
Okay. I'm gonna hold on that. Okay. I'm just gonna try to shove him out of the doorway, back to the outside.
Okay, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Okay. Since we leveled up, I'm not -1 to strength anymore. I
Nice.
need to change that on my thing.
Hell yeah.
I'm +0 now.
Woo!
Nice.
Is plus something you have to say before 0?
I just,
I'm -0.
It makes me feel nice.
yeah. I think it's just the.
As long as you're not multiplied by 0.
Just gotta stay positive.
That's a 4.
Plus what?
+0.
It's a 19 acrobatics. You go and try to push them out of the way, and they're just clinging to the stonework and refusing to move as you push on them. Is there anything else that you'd like to try and do?
I'm going to back up to the back of the cell.
Okay. That's going to be Alma.
Who had that lock?
I have it. The dwarven lock.
Okay, what is it to get an item from somebody?
Since this isn't like strict combat, this is more just to give you guys an order to do things in. If you were to ask Cholula about it, she could hand it to you as a free action.
Okay, Cholula, that lock you got, can I have it?
All right. Yeah.
I'll grab that. And can I use my telekinetic shove to push this guy out of the room?
Yeah, that's just an athletics check, right?
Yep.
Okay. That's just an 11.
It is a 15 DC.
That fails.
Okay, so he's back.
Yeah. The doppelganger wearing the
5
face
feet.
of Captain Eustace Saget is pushed 5 feet back out from the doorway. He can't grab it in time.
Okay.
I would say he does like grab the doorway, but it starts closing and he quickly lets go so his fingers don't get slammed.
Okay.
But it is closer to being closed now.
And then with my action, can I go ahead and clip that new lock?
Absolutely. Make an acrobatics check. Actually, no, make a sleight of hand check because you are currently shackled, and getting your hands through the bars to the outside to put a lock on the cell you're in is not impossible, but a little more challenging.
That's a natural 1.
Oh.
Una memento.
Natural 1.
Uh-huh.
So as you rush forward and get him pushed out of the way, you go and reach through and start trying to put the lock around, but your shackles catch on the bars and you drop the lock and it just skitters a couple of feet away.
Something else also happens, which is cool.
Oh yeah, that's right. Natural 1s are fun for a couple of you.
I get my augury spell.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
This seems like a useful time to have that, right?
It does. I'm going to ask my spirits what will happen if we attempt to flee.
You hear a cavalcade of responses. It's just yes, no, don't, yes, do it, and it's just like constant back and forth. You get the sense that it could go either way.
Okay, cool. That's my turn.
All right, not a bad question. That's gonna be Silas.
How far away is the lock?
The lock looks to only be maybe 2 or 3 feet away.
I'm gonna grab that and put it on the cell.
Yeah, make a sleight of hand check to try and quickly reach your arm through the bars.
Okay. That's a natural 20.
Oh.
Plus 3.
Yeah, you quickly scoop up the lock, and are you trying to lock yourselves into the cell?
absolutely.
Yeah, you click it in place and take a couple of steps back, just as the doppelganger is getting to his feet. Ollie.
Yeah, I'm gonna like get back into like cool mode, like just cool body language mode.
Yeah.
To the best of my ability without my
I
clothes on.
absolutely both hands up, flick off the doppelganger, and
That's my bonus action.
and then I think I'm going to hold an action. I'm gonna hold a spell if I can.
What is the trigger that you're waiting for?
If he is somehow able to get in or tries to like break into this lock, I'm gonna cast Primal Savagery on myself, and then try to do some little melee attacks on him if he
Okay.
gets within 5 feet of me.
Hell yeah. So yeah, if he manages to get the lock off of the cell or enter the cell,
Yeah.
then that'll trigger that action. The doppelganger quickly gets back up to their feet and is looking pretty rough at this point, just from because they did like a full running, wrestler move, leaping headbutt
And
into
they
the door.
were banging their head on it before too.
Yeah. And blood trickling down from the nose, rushes up and sees the lock for the first time and starts tugging and pulling on it. We've got about one more round until the arrival of the rest of the watch. can't brute force it off, and doesn't appear to have any tools to do so. And you can see the worry and the fear coming across the face now.
How are they dressed?
They're dressed in City Watch livery. They look exactly like Captain Histestaget the last time that you saw him. Maybe not the same exact uniform,
Yeah.
but they don't stand out here.
Okay. I was just, yeah.
So, back at the top of the round, Cholula.
I'm going to shout,
Mm-hmm.
help! Doppelganger!
Oh, make a persuasion check.
11.
11. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
No.
Okay. Cholula calls out, "Help! Doppelganger!" Alma.
Where's the other lock? The one that was on the cell?
The other one, whenever he opened it, he took it himself.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take a seat in the corner and try to act normal.
Make a performance check.
Oh. $13.
Yeah. Anyone looking close can see like a little bit of nervous sweat at Alma's brow.
That's just Alma.
Yeah. So yeah, she looks very casual. Silas, anything in particular that you'd like to do?
I'm gonna finish putting my clothes on. just kind of like under my breath. Just, how long does he think that was going to go on? Like, if this is going to be a court case, they're going to bring him into court. He'd have to still be Captain Staggett. just the whole time, just mumbling about my clothes.
All right. Ollie.
I think I'm still gonna hold that action just
Okay.
in the ready.
Absolutely. Doppelganger's going to get one more shot at this lock. 7's not going to do it.
Just grabbing at it with his stupid hands.
At this point, he's, just like yanking down on it, trying to get it off. And you hear the footsteps approaching much more quickly now, and you can actually see several members of City Watch, and actually a couple of magisters as well in black robes, coming down the steps behind. One of them notices the bodies on the floor, looks up and sees the doppelganger, who notices them and turns. And he turns around, kind of heavily breathing, looks at them. They escaped from their cell. I managed to get them back in, but it took all three of us. I'm gonna roll against myself real quick.
Tell us how that goes.
I'm gonna take a quick picture of this.
Yikes.
This is on Insight for the rest of the watch.
You look pretty proud of yourself, so I can't imagine it's a very good time.
They look around for a moment.
Hate a proud DM.
They look around for a moment at the two bodies on the floor and this beaten and bloodied Captain Staggett, and then pushing through from the back of this group of City Watch, Captain Staggett
Yes!
Yes.
Yes.
steps forward, and he looks at all of them. "You heard the woman. We've got a doppelganger in our midst," and they begin to seize the other captain, who he tries to bolt, and he only makes it a few feet before there are 6 City Watch constables on him. They tackle him to the ground and cuff him. As all of that's going on, Captain Staggett is like watching and making sure that everything is okay before turning and looking into the cell. And he looks down and notices the lock that doesn't match before looking in. "What's going on here?"
I believe we've been set up.
Really? And Well, give me the full story. What happened?
Right, he killed that lot, came in here and offered us to run out of the city for whatever reason. And then when we didn't agree to that because we realized he was a doppelganger, he banged his head on the bars and tried to frame us for that as well.
Started yelling for the other guards.
So Alma threw him out and we put a lock on the door.
Interesting. I hear that you have a hearing scheduled for this morning.
I don't know how good that'll do.
Right. I don't take too kindly to my own face being worn by others. I happen to know Magister Silmhelv quite well. Let me have a conversation with her and see what I can do.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. It's been quite a time here, you know.
Of course. I'll see what I can do. The rest of you, sit tight.
Mr. Captain Staggett?
Staggett, yes.
Staggett?
Newport, was it?
Yes. Do I have to have these on?
As a registered caster within the city of Waterdeep, it is protocol to have anti-magic
I do
casts
acknowledge protocol, but if people are going to keep breaking in trying to kill us, it'd be nice to not be killed. I'll pinky promise that I won't use it on anybody.
She could have helped a lot during that little scuffle there.
Make a persuasion check.
$11?
11.
But I rolled a 4, so like, I don't know.
Yeah, let's say, like, you made a face, but
Don't hurt.
that plus.
I'm afraid my hands are tied when it comes to this bit of bureaucracy. But,
So I heard.
of course. But, as I said, Magister Silmhelv has arrived already and is preparing to hear your case. Let me have a quick conversation and see if I can't clear this up and
Thank you
see
so
what we
much.
can do. Of
I
course.
really appreciate that.
And he steps away. As he does, the doppelganger has been gagged and hands are now shackled behind and is being like, he's like, as he's shifting and trying to pull out of them, they just like toss him into the cell next door, close it. There are barriers, so you can't like interact between cells, but you can just hear the muffled kind of like coming out from the door next to you.
Do they still look like Staggett, or is he...
He hasn't changed, no.
Okay.
Staggett exits and is followed shortly by some very bewildered looking City Watch constables, and you find yourselves once again alone in a cell. Is there anything in particular that you guys would like to do in the meantime while Captain Hustis goes to see what he can do about this little situation?
What's our story on the stone then?
I was able to speak with it
What?
last night. I was taking a look before I fell asleep, and it talked to me, but I don't really want to say what it said while that guy's next door, before we have a chance to get
Right, yes.
out where we know no one's listening to us. But
Okay.
I'd like to try to keep anyone from knowing that that's what this is. I don't think the guards that arrested us recognized it.
That's good.
But I do, I wonder if we could find a way to keep it from talking to someone else if it gets taken away, you know? I mean, I feel like I have a good amount of the information that it contains, but that doesn't help us if someone else gets it.
Right.
It's sort of a system of,
Can you bargain with it?
possibly. I haven't tried. I was real tired.
If it talks back, maybe you could arrange a deal at least. Try to convince it that it just shouldn't help anybody else.
Well, it seems like it's... Did I get the impression that something is, like, kind of trapped inside of it?
Make an Arcana check.
Very good.
You guys have to roll something over 4 today.
That's gonna be 4.
Don't tell me what to do.
Hey Taylor, not gonna happen.
You're not sure. It's strange. It's when you're holding the stone and when you really focus and concentrate on it. Its voice. It's not like it's speaking to you from the stone. It's like it's speaking inside of your head. I would say you can infer what you will.
Okay. It seems like whatever's in there that's able to speak, it's in there. There might be some sort of deal with maybe we could find a way to let it out, but I don't know if that would be a terrible idea.
I don't think that's a good idea.
What are we saying to the authorities about the stone? If anyone comes looking, or if we do have to have our hearing, what are we saying
Well,
about
as far as the
stone?
commotion in the streets, there was a doppelganger,
Right.
and that's why he came back to try to get rid of us before we could have a hearing because we were going to sell him out.
Or perhaps somebody noticed all of those gemstones on you. And that's what led to the whole thing, is they wanted to take them and we were just defending what was ours.
But we were chasing a doppelganger.
Who
And
we knew to be disguised at the time as Castellanta's familiar, right?
yes,
The butler.
His
Yes.
butler.
That sounds good. It is true.
What
Okay,
do
just
we-
wanted to make sure we had a story straight.
What are we gonna do after we get out of here? If we're being constantly hunted for this?
I want to talk to Castellanta, but
I would like that very much.
I don't know what sort of heel he's gonna turn on, He's been very helpful to us, to Ollie beforehand, but once we saved him, he's been more than generous. I just wonder what sort, if he just wanted the stone, or if he had anything to do with the explosion, or, if he's secretly an evil man, then having a conversation with him could quickly turn into we're all dead.
Yeah, he cast some kind of spell at the tavern that first day.
To get Leroy to leave. I noticed that.
Did he? In public?
I mean, when you're rich,
Right, yes.
I don't
it's not
think
really a problem.
I don't think a lot of people noticed, but
But it means that we don't know how powerful he is exactly, unless you have some kind of insight there.
Do I know, in essence, how strong he is? Have I ever seen him cast any sort of magic?
Make an Arcana check.
14.
14. Give me just 1 second.
As far as the stone is concerned and what it said, if it's what I think it said, we could pursue that further.
I would say, Ollie, in your experience, you've never seen him go all out or anything of that nature. But he did send you a message mentally once, and that's not crazy high-level magic, but it's more advanced than anything you know how to do right now.
All I know is that he can do spells that I can't do yet. So I don't know how strong he is, but he for sure has access to a lot of knowledge I don't.
He can do things that you can't. That's saying something. That was meant to be a compliment. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking aloud.
Well, I mean, He sent me like a message to my head, and I mean, like, that's not crazy, but I mean,
It was his voice?
I do
Or-
that.
yeah, I think if I'm remembering correct, it was his voice.
So
I
where do
can't
we
do that.
think he's? What do you think his position is in all of this? Vielle, which I need to check on how she's doing. We left her at the windmill, and also she has my paring knife. But she mentioned that he had been at meetings with the Black Rain. So he's likely some part in that. I don't know if he's in charge of anything or if he's using them as a means to an end.
If we could get a hold of Edgeplane and maybe Mert, Renair, maybe we can get some information on what they might know about his involvement with the Black Rain.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, let's leave
But
this.
if those were the cloaked people that were following the gnome, they were close enough that one of them was able to get the stone off the gnome and take it to the city of the dead. But the explosion must have come from a rival entity, right?
I believe that was the Silver Stake, wasn't it? Haven't we more or less confirmed that?
You're not sure.
Okay.
You know the Silver Stake, at least 3 members of the Silver Stake were the target.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It was a puppet of sorts, as it was described.
So he either got the stone from the Silver Stake member that got away with the stone, or he's got his hands in both.
All we
But
need to
I
tell-
don't think that Yagra would know anything about it if she's still convinced that everything they're doing is for the greater good. An explosion doesn't count for that, I don't believe. But why would Castellanda want... I mean, I suppose he's a noble. Everybody wants that amount of money.
Well, I mean,
Doesn't he already have it?
that's what I was wondering. I mean, our deal with fixing the Temple of Bakab is that he would be the financial backer for it. I know that though he agreed to do that, I've never seen any amount of money. He's not showy with it, so I have no idea what he has.
Well, and with the way that he was paying for the restoration for Silas, it was in increments. It's not like he had the whole amount all at once. It took him a bit, so maybe he's...
Maybe the
Maybe
Stone of
he's
Golorr was to get the funds to be doing all of his philanthropy.
But why would you be doing so much of that if you didn't have the money to do it?
And why would you be at meetings for the Black Rain?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you were infiltrating, which I doubt he's doing. Put your neck out like that, being such a public figure.
Seems risky.
But it seems he definitely wants the stone, either for the money or if there's anything else that's going to be hidden along with it. But
We should let Ed.
does that
Edgeplane
mean
know
that
for sure.
he's... Is he a bad person? Is he... Or is he in pursuit the way that we are?
Silas, when you went to try the restoration, how did the temple look?
I don't think I went to yours. I went to the one here in the city.
Because the other was still under construction, correct?
Yeah, I think I was advised to stay in the
Yeah,
city.
Ollie's Temple of Bakab is in Undercliff, kind of right at the edge of the Hillock Sea, outside of Waterdeep.
Can I ask a question
Yeah.
to my god?
You can try.
Okay.
He could be one of us.
That's gonna be in my head for the rest of my life. Okay. Ollie's sort of just gonna like gently rub that sort of like gold pendant that's at her neck and sit down and very gently, Bakab, hey, I kind of just wanted to know, has any work been done on the temple?
go ahead and... Do you want to roll this D100?
Absolutely. I'll get this out of your way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's dense. Be
I want
careful
to
rolling
put this
that
in
on
a
this
fucking
table.
sock and just molly it.
I would recommend holding your tray when you roll it. So
Yeah.
that it doesn't go
Like, should I
anywhere.
just tray and...
Yeah.
Let's just get the table out of the way.
34.
34? Okay. The lighting in this portion of the prison, rather the holding cells, is you see not actual torches that are burning. You see these appear to be continual flame spells that have been cast in certain areas of the room, so that they're ever present, ever burning. The light kind of flickers a bit before dimming, and the kind of orangey red hue fades, and a bright blue just kind of rises, and there's this kind of heat that rises around you as well. The rest of you see this blue change in light. You hear the muffled cries of the doppelganger next door actually stop for a moment as this happens. Ollie, you hear, and only you hear, 3 whimpering voices, and one deep, almost chuckle, just this kind of that just echoes. And the 3 voices you hear sound like children, and maybe an older child, maybe a teen. And just that echoing laugh before it all fades and the lights return to their normal hue.
Does that seem like I know? That like a...
You can interpret that how you will.
You got teens in your brain.
Get these teens off my...
I heard Robbie laugh, and I know exactly why he did.
A child.
A child. Every time.
Should we go visit your temple?
Do I know how long it would take for me to get from Waterdeep to Undercliff?
Not long. It's maybe a day's travel.
Can we spare the few days?
Probably.
Depending on how this trial goes.
At this point, you hear footsteps approaching down the steps once again. And you see the real Captain Eustace Staggett approaching. Well, I had a conversation with Master Stonehelve. Unfortunately, we can't just release you freely with no punishment. There was a bit of a ruckus in the street that apparently you had quite a hand in. But a lot of that ruckus was on behalf of attempting to catch the doppelganger that was the real instigation of the riot that took place. She's agreed to a lesser sentence. For the next 10 days, you are to clean and make the beds at 3 local orphanages, under guard supervision, of course. You'll have daily reporting times that you should arrive and take care of these duties. If you do not check in, there will be warrants placed out for your arrest. So, make it to the meetings. It's just 10 days. Is this agreeable?
Yes, absolutely.
Wonderful. Do you have the key to this lock so I can let you out of here?
No.
No. Yes, then we kind of...
Right.
Way to
Get the cutters, please. You got a couple of City Watch come down with just a massive pair of bolt cutters and cut the lock off.
Is that alright if I still keep that?
Of course, not sure what use you'll get out of it now.
It's very pretty.
7 bells every day in the evening. You are to meet. You'll go from one orphanage to the next. Don't be late. Meetings will begin here.
Alright.
But other than that, you're all free citizens yet again. And he gets your shackles for you, Alma, and hands your card back.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
Okay, thank you.
Try to stay out of trouble this time. If you
We'll
can.
do our best.
Can't promise it. If
And-
another doppelganger comes around, that is.
Of course. Well, right this way. He leads you up the steps into the area where you were all processed and escorts you out into the street where he says his goodbyes and goes back inside.
Quickly, do you know if Felspa's on duty this evening, or she's around?
I'm not sure. You'd have to check in the Sea Ward where she's stationed, I believe.
Okay. Thank you again.
Of course. He closes the door, goes back inside. You find yourselves on the streets in the dock ward in the early hours of the morning.
Well, we need to, we're supposed to meet with Renee at the tavern today.
Yeah. Having meetings for the next 10 days is going to make it hard to go check out the temple.
We may have to hold off on that, or just, how long did you say it would take to get there?
Like a day there, I imagine like a day back. But since we have to report at 7 p.m.
We may
each
have
day,
to wait until the next 10 day to make that little excursion.
we could do our best to try to avoid Castle Lantern for the next 10 day and maybe do that little mission Yager asked us to do.
I am
Yeah. We'd have to ask how long it's gonna take.
right.
We do have to report every evening.
I was kind of thinking about something that might help us get to the bottom of exactly who's tailing us. If I'm thinking on the right track. Silas, how many people know who exactly you are?
We're walking like back.
Yeah,
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit of a walk from the dock ward to the north ward, but you can mostly follow the high road to go straight there.
It's the one part of the set we couldn't build was all the treadmills.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Next time.
Just walk towards the
Working-
Also, it
Work in
would have been
progress.
We would have made him quiet.
I
don't
signed
know
up to be a nerd, not an expert.
I imagine, I mean, depending on how tight-lipped Mert is, the Harpers?
You don't think Castle Lantern knows?
I mean, when you say exactly who I am, you mean before? Yes. I doubt it. I mean, he might know of the marriage and potentially the disappearance now, but not the other end. I was actually just thinking about Mert and his little ears everywhere. They can potentially help us if we are being tailed.
But what do you think the Hoppers would do to us if they knew what we had?
I could just ask for protection and not why.
That's true.
Looking around, have you said it's early morning? Are there plenty of people out or anything?
Yeah. Most of the foot traffic at this time appear to be, especially coming from the dock ward, appear to be various servants and merchants that are either on their way to the north ward or the sea ward to go about their daily duties for the families that they serve, or to run their shops in the trades ward.
Do I see anyone around who doesn't exactly fit in, or does but in a Harper way?
Make a perception check. Perception or insight, I would say.
I have a smuggler feature sort of background thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if that would play into looking for.
Yeah, what does it say?
It says I can find safe houses, get out of tight situations in a particular town or city on DM's discretion. Companions can also stay in the safe houses.
I would say
And
make an insight check with advantage.
Fucking gripping
Fucking tutor, dude.
Tutor, tutor.
That's
Did I miss something?
Oh,
It's the set.
wow. Okay.
Fucking tutor, dude.
That's 23.
23. You actually, so as you guys are walking, you see kind of seated up against a wall with a bottle, slightly askew next to them, a familiar red-skinned tiefling with curly horns, a little bit of a shaggy beard. It's the guy that ran into you and gave you Mert's message after the opera.
I'm gonna walk over to him.
Yeah.
You said he's sitting.
Yeah.
He's kind of like slouched.
He to anyone else passing by, this is just a drunk bum, but you can see past it.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna kick one of his boots. Hey.
Oh, hey, it's you again. What's up, man?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What's your all right?
Good. What's your name?
Graham Brushley.
It's a good name.
Thanks. What's your name?
You're kidding, right?
Right. Wilford. Yeah.
Right. We might need Mert's ear. If you could maybe send him word.
Yeah, we can do that.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. You don't need anything else?
No.
You
Post
guys-
haste.
you
Up,
thirsty?
up. No.
Right.
Just,
I'm a little bit
I like-
thirsty.
I pull him
You
up.
can finish this up. I just gotta pour it out.
I'm gonna finish this drink.
Oh, Cholula, we
It's a warm
have
beer.
so many drinks at the tavern.
There's a bit of walking before we get there.
Right. I'll go do that. He'll probably send you like a bird or something.
Right. Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
See you later.
Again,
Stumbles off into the street.
bud. Strange man.
After a while of walking, after that strange interaction, you find yourselves back at Feast and Fountain, and approaching, you see Renair is kind of nonchalantly, but obviously like a little. If he had a watch, he'd be checking it and like looking around. Looks up and notices all of you approaching. Welcome back.
Renee.
I had some troubling news about something going down in the dog ward.
Should we do this upstairs?
We should go upstairs.
Of course, after you.
I think we went through all of our gifted liquor the other night, right?
No, I think you had 4 bottles and you went through like 2.
Oh, okay, tight. We're good.
Yeah, you guys lead Renair up into the den portion of Feast and Fountain. He has a seat. Wow.
So, does anybody have any sort of, I'm not too worried about it up here, but is there some sort of, I don't know a lot about magic. Is there like a spell so that nobody outside of the circle can be listening in?
I can scream out the window for a bit.
Absolutely, that type of magic does exist. Are you afraid that someone might be spying on you?
Yes.
It's a bit of sensitive information. I mean, we're probably fine up here, but I just, to be sure, if anybody had anything they could do like that, this would be a good time to use it.
I just have protection from good and evil. I mean,
I don't have anything like this at my disposal. Not much of a magical caster myself, but I have been told that you can avoid detection through such spells by concealing yourself, perhaps by having a room lined with just an inch of lead within the walls.
Oh.
Could do the trick. I don't have anything like that at my
Yeah,
disposal.
Maybe have that done in the
I don't
future.
happen to have any lead on me.
Seems a little dangerous, personally, but I mean, I guess it's worth it.
So,
If that's what you're going for.
I kind of.
I put the stone
I
on
might-
the table.
I might have. Something.
Silas feels a strange tap at his shoulder. You turn around and there's no one there. Everybody make a perception check.
I could do maybe something. Not too sure.
7. Very good.
17.
14.
14. Alma, you just see. You almost think it's like something like a bug or like maybe a bird got in and it's passing in front of the light. But as you keep watching, you notice just the hand of Silas's shadow kind of creeps up his back, conforming to the folds of the fabrics, and taps at his shoulder. And right as it does, he turns around.
I could try something if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
You see, it's almost like as it trails back down, it's kind of like gripping the bottom of his long waistcoat.
This is weird, but without moving or really reacting in any way, can I have my mage hand attempt to like pin that shadow down?
Sure.
Can we get some ghost on shadow action?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, man! Ever seen ghosts and shadows?
Arcanarama. Be sure to use the hashtag on all your DeviantArt pages.
You see just this little curl of the fabric of his jacket where his shadow is almost like gripping it. And ripping it. And as you...
Don't! It's a new coat!
And as the spectral hand wisps over and tries to kind of like grasp, there's nothing to grab. It kind of like passes through. It can hold the same portion of coat that the shadow is holding, but there's no interaction between the two. Silas, you were saying.
I could try something, and don't be alarmed. And then I'm going to very quickly turn around and grab my shadow and throw it over the room.
Yeah, you turn around and grab your shadow, which is already holding onto you, and as you pull, like, whip it across, it's very, like, if there was a Tim Burton Peter Pan, this would be it. As he tosses his shadow over the room, and darkness envelops all of you.
Is that pass without a trace?
That would be silence. If that's
silence.
Oh my god.
Interesting. So yeah, as this happens, the lights dim, but it doesn't go black. As the shadow just kind of spreads about, and Renair turns and looks at all of you. Yeah, as you go to talk, no sound comes out.
Just...
I'm gonna point towards the attic. And proceed.
And pretty much as soon as you exit the room, Renair's just like, yes. Good to know.
Yeah, I didn't...
Potentially very effective in the future.
Been bothering me about that for a while.
Yes, that was strange.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You can like throw it.
Can you surround the area that we're in?
I don't know. He was kind of bothering me about it all night.
He who?
I'll just get him later and...
Cut to flashback of Silas like laying in bed and opening his eyes to just a shadowy figure hovering above his face, just going.
Okay, dude, but check this out.
I threw up.
But like, dude, I know you're tired right now, but guess what? I can totally do this cool. I like the idea of his shadows, just like, dude,
Show him the thing. Show him that thing I did, bro.
I can do it. I swear.
Yeah.
Just a quick point of order. When I do stuff like that, everybody gets weird and mad.
What, do you want equal treatment for that? No?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
That was weird.
It was very weird.
I'm sorry.
Okay, great.
He'll
That's
join
all
us.
I wanted.
He'll probably catch up later. I hope.
You all arrive at the attic.
Does
And
Silas
and
just
as you
not
guys-
have a shadow?
Yeah, as you guys are walking up, there's no shadow on Silas until what, about a minute later?
10 up to concentration.
Okay, so yeah. Well, depending on if you want to concentrate on it for that long.
I think as soon as I leave the room, like I just kind of I've
Yeah.
forgotten
You
what has
walk
happened
through
in
a
that room.
doorway and
Like,
Yeah, he gets a couple steps and his shadow actually, like almost like it's very strange to see the shadow of a person walking but not connected to them. But as it just kind of like quickly catches up, and then goes back to mimicking his movements.
You thought that was going to help. Okay, good. Yeah, right. I'm sorry.
we'll talk about that later.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. Should have mentioned.
Standard stuff.
How does the attic look? That's where you stay, right? What?
Okay, so there is a mirror in the corner covered by a sheet. Other than that, the room is pretty much a replica of the room at the estate. Like everything
The room
is
with the dolls.
yeah, except the dolls.
So yeah, there's like a bed and an armoire.
but it's all in the
across
same
from it.
exact setup and colors.
Okay.
I'll talk.
So is there a table?
So when you walk
Chair.
in,
There might be like a little desk.
yeah, when you walk in,
Almost just
immediately
gonna
on
sit
your
on the bed.
immediately on your right is a bed, and there's like maybe a 4-foot gap, and at the foot of the bed, against the wall, is kind of an armoire, and then in the corner directly across from you when you step in is a mirror with a sheet pulled over it, and just a stack of books on the other side of the bed.
Okay.
And there's also a small vanity with
Also
the mirror.
covered.
I wanted to show Renera the stone, but I was gonna try to make a statement by just setting it on the table in front of
Okay.
him.
Yeah, the most central thing
But
would
if
be
there's
like
not
the
a
bed.
table, yeah, I'll put it. It'll be a softer statement.
Yeah.
Like when you're throwing your phone at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just. He looks down.
Okay.
Is that what I think it is?
It is.
Uh,
It exists. I spoke with it.
This is a lot. Do you mind if I do my bit first?
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah. I'm gonna put it back in my
Right, yeah.
bag.
Yeah, of
I don't want it
course.
just sitting out.
Like a
Sorry,
list.
I don't mean to like steamroll you or anything.
No, it's fine. I've got the shadow thing.
This
This is her room.
I
which is
assume you
weird.
received my paper
It's
bed.
just
Yes.
Right. So myself and Detective Etchplane last night, as I was out canvassing and getting information on this figure that was seen leaving Chorsco Alley after the explosion. Eyewitnesses saw him entering Garland Villa, not far from here, actually, in the North Ward, and 2 accounts saw him going in. So a couple of City Watch constables went and checked it out, from what I've heard, but Lord Groland denied having any involvement. Said that no one had broken in. Everything was fine. They had no grounds for a search warrant, so they went about their merry way. Not 4 hours later, an alarm was raised at Groland Villa. Myself and Detective Etchplane went to investigate, along with about 12 other City Watch constables. When we arrived, Lord Groland was unconscious, and Lady Groland was in shock. The half-orc bodyguard was bloodied but unbowed. She was standing strong. The Grolands claim to have been held hostage for more than a 10-day by agents of the Silver Stake. Most of the members were killed during a bloody revolt that was led by Lord Groland himself. He took up arms and rescued his family. The leader of the group, however, Erstal Floxen, was among those who got away. He is still at large, and the Watch is planning to step up their search for him immensely. There was no sign of this puppet-like mechanical figure, but when questioned about it, Lady Groland said that there was a construct delivered to the villa weeks earlier. The family took it in, not realizing that it was a Silver Stake spy. Lady Groland reported that it had stolen her necklace of fireballs. That's all that we learned.
So, right.
Can I just?
Yeah, I feel like it's about time.
Do you
right now.
cool
Are you cool?
if we just pop out for like a quick second?
You good here?
Like for like 2 seconds.
For like
Right.
1 second.
Of course, I can step outside if that's easier. I feel
Actually,
strange.
yeah, instead of
Yeah, but yeah, if you could just.
Of course, yes.
Cool.
Just
legit 10 seconds.
Just knock on the door 3 times when you're ready for me to come back in, or
Sure.
send your shadow or something. Right, and he turns and steps out of the room.
Are we telling him I have
Can
that
I
necklace?
send? Can you go somewhere?
I,
What?
Are we telling him that I have that necklace? The
I-
fireball one?
That definitely ties Grolands to it, or at least the
I-
thing at the Grolands house.
I
don't
just-
want to say anything to the watch or really to the hand while we can, but I trust Renea as a person.
Yeah. Also, we could kill him, if he goes weird. Or
We're
something.
not gonna kill
I'm not
him.
going to say we need to, but if he gets a bit weird about it, there's 4 of us here.
There's 4 of us.
I just mean.
Oh, are we talking about the grey hands?
Oh, Harper's is what I meant.
Okay, cool.
I just mean that like the last person we trusted was Cass Lanter, and I just don't
Right.
know if I.
I mean, this seems
But
a bit...
the stone, everything is connected to his family.
But us
And he's been
mentioning-
targeted for it, and his friend was hurt for that
Right.
missed.
And this seems a bit innocuous, but just we happen to have the necklace from the crime scene. That was.
Okay.
That doesn't seem
I think.
What do
that
you
we-
think would happen?
I just want to keep it.
Oh right, yeah.
I can only do second level spells right now, and that it's a free fireball. I mean, I don't have to use a spell slot, and two free fireballs, and that's just.
I'm talking about levels. Do you have levels?
Well,
Is he back there?
I just mean that I want to prioritize helping you guys.
Yeah.
And
I think
I want to keep it.
if we mention it or not, it doesn't really change anything or hurt anything. So let's go for not.
I think that Renee is someone that we can trust. That there's got to be someone outside of ourselves that we can work out all of this information we've got with. We can't talk to the Watch.
No.
We can't talk to Castellanta because he's after it.
I
But
don't think it's a good idea to talk to the Harpers.
no, I think that. But I
He's
think
not
that
yet.
Renea is someone who is someone we can trust and talk to that isn't gonna send someone after us.
I don't think that Renair has any reason to want the necklace.
Okay. Is there anything we're not gonna tell him? Just so I know.
I think we should be pretty clear with at least someone.
Okay. Ollie goes to the door, does not knock, just pulls it open.
As you do, you don't see anyone until you peek out and look down. He's standing at the end of the hall to make sure you wouldn't overhear anything.
Aw.
Rainier, and Ollie sort of reaches into her pocket and pulls out the necklace and jiggles it around. I have it.
Oh.
Yeah, you should
Come back in.
Maybe join us.
I'm
Sorry.
gonna keep it though. So,
That's your prerogative.
Found by a boy at the scene of the explosion.
Right.
And then we found the boy.
well,
Right.
we did find
The
boy, it just sounded
halflings
weird.
that he was with the halflings that were dancing and went to get food when the explosion happened, and he said the necklace fell
from the
into a
rooftop,
barrel
yeah.
next to him. I think from the nimble rat off of the roof.
Right.
And we also have reason to believe that Castellanta is probably the one who would have attacked. And
Yeah, we went.
There are several things about what I was told that don't add up. Not from you, but from the Grolans. If the Grolans had really been being held captive for a 10-day in their estate, why did the explosion happen when it did? And do you get what I'm saying? If the Silver Stake was holding them hostage, and there were many Silver Stake bodies found on the premises, if that many members of the organization were there, why did it take a nimble rat stealing the necklace? They clearly had full run of the house. They could have done whatever they wanted. And also, if that's the case, if they got what they wanted, why not just leave?
Can
The
nimble
timelines
rates
don't
just
line up.
do whatever they want?
I'm not an expert, but I would imagine not. It's my understanding that they are creations.
I do believe that at least Lady Groland and Victor Castellant have been working together.
Really?
I saw a journal entry at his home stating that Never Ember's dragons are the key. The mausoleum and Form YG. The mausoleum is where we found what was her name?
Vael or Val.
Vael.
For the sake of brevity, we'll say you guys kind of explain
Yeah.
your evening.
That's
Yeah.
We were all there.
Yeah.
We show them the previously on.
Yes. That does seem like more than a coincidence.
That's what we were thinking.
What do we do next? What is the plan? Do we want to force Castellanter to show his hand?
From what you've told me, is there any proof that Castellanter, aside from potentially his involvement in the explosion with Yola Groland, is there any proof that he has ill will or evil intentions? Or is he just seeking the Stone of Golorr?
We were
That's
told
what
he was
I
at
was
meetings.
wondering. I don't think that he is the one that caused the explosion, right?
Well, from what you've told me, what I can piece together, it sounds like Dalekar had the stone
Mm-hmm.
and was bringing it to all of you for safekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
On his way, he was intercepted by this Nimblewright that exploded him and several members of the Silver Stake, which is another thing that doesn't add up. Why would, if it was a spy for the Silver Stake, why would it attack its own men in the blast?
Mm-hmm.
Erstal Floxin was seen taking something off of the body of the gnome, potentially the Stone of Golorr, and then was seen entering Groland Villa.
Mm-hmm.
So he potentially took the stone to the villa. So it would stand to reason that... I'm going to make a quick intelligence roll for Renee. Jesus. That entry. The mausoleum in Form YG. If Yola Groland was working with the Silver Stake and had them get the stone for her, and then had instructions to leave it in Castellanter Mausoleum,
And
perhaps
then-
Castellanter sent his 5 friends, or these members of the Order of the Black Rain, to retrieve it. But maybe he couldn't trust all of them. Maybe the other 2 were given orders to get rid of the others and take the stone.
That could be a possibility.
I do wonder if there's a way that we could get all of these people to show us what their motives are, though. Do you know what I mean? If we could give enough
Certainly make life a lot
information,
easier of people.
if we could give enough information to enough people who know that we have what we have, then the ones who are up to something nefarious are gonna try to come get it, right?
I was able to speak with the stone.
Right. What did it tell you?
It told me the keys. There are 3
Could I-
keys that we need.
Could I try something else?
Sure.
Sorry. Right, just once again, right, with meaning, is there something like that? And then, my shadow will kind of like go under my feet and extend out to everyone else. Does Pass Without a Trace do that? Silence just in the area that we're in.
So, Pass Without a Trace benefits your stealth if you're trying to be sneaky. So, yeah, as the shadow stretches out and connects to all of yours, the room just in the areas where you're all standing darkens. And it's almost like that kind of heavy dripping mist just kind of lightly clings to all of you. And if anybody wanted to roll a stealth roll, you'd have +10 to the roll. And for those of you watching at home, at the level up, we use some Tasha rules, and for some narrative reasons and for flavor, Taylor has decided to shift Silas from Astral Self into Shadow Monk territory, which is very fun and exciting.
Spooky.
So maybe that'll work? I'm not sure, really.
I feel quieter.
This could absolutely help with anywhere that you need to get in quietly.
Yeah, I'm really not sure how he works quite
So,
yet.
what the stone said is beneath an old tower owned by Esvel Rosna,
Rosna, yes.
3 keys, a warhammer of silver, animated construct, which
The
my mind
nimble
goes
rat.
to the nimble rat, and a shape changer, which my mind immediately goes to a doppelganger because we were just attacked by one. But do you think that hat would count as a shape changer?
Oh, this one?
Mm-hmm.
I put on the hat,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to try to become Yagra.
Yeah. The visage of Yagra appears before you.
This could work.
Now, does that count as changing shape, or
It's
is
an
that
illusion.
right?
I'm still Yagra.
Potentially, you might potentially be able to fool whatever it is that's trying to sense. If you were to maybe change, can you shift from one form to another while wearing that?
I am going to change into Cholula.
Yeah, there's a bit of a flicker, and then there's 2 Cholulas in the room.
Damn.
You could potentially fool whatever sensor it is that is looking out for these keys.
Mm-hmm.
That's very clever thinking.
So, a warhammer of silver. There are some smiths down the street. We may be able to.
Right.
We'll need
Stainless
some.
steel. I believe it's maybe 15 or 25 gold pieces to get a weapon silvered.
We've
That's
recently come into some money. I think we can do that.
I could do that. But the animated construct is.
So we'd have to track down this
Well-
nimble right.
Or something.
Well, as I
that
said
is
before,
similar.
there are many animated constructs that perform in the various Founders Day festivals and festivals within Waterdeep. The House of Inspired Hands, the Temple of Gond in the Sea Ward, they would know where to look.
Would they have some? I mean, could we get some pocket-sized animated constructs that we could
Yeah.
perhaps
If we could
take
just-
without being showy about it?
Potentially. I don't believe it listed a size limit.
No. I mean, I think I could still talk to it if we had any more questions, but it was very vague with the answers. And I was exhausted while I was talking to
You
it.
seem to recognize that name of the woman who owns this tower. Do you know them?
Yes. Esvel Rosnar. She's a noblewoman of House Rosnar, and her family deals mostly in, I believe it's salt mining, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you think she knows that she's on top of your family fortune?
Potentially. I wouldn't know without having a conversation with her.
It does
But-
make it tricky that somebody lives on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
She
But there
is
may be
rather
some.
free-spirited,
We can
especially
work
as
with
far
that.
as nobles are concerned. She doesn't like to conform to the same principles that a lot of other nobles within Waterdeep do, if that makes sense. I picture myself being, a bit outside of that frame as well.
Mm-hmm.
It could be worth a conversation, or at least stopping by and maybe investigating when she's not home.
Right.
Silas,
Does
I
she
know-
have different? Her family does salt mining.
Mhm.
Do they have multiple types of salt?
As far as I know,
Right now,
sea salt is a big, being in the port town that we are, is their main export.
Mm-hmm.
But they do dabble in all types. I think they smoke some.
Are you looking for something specific here?
I was just thinking that maybe I would be interested in some different types of salts that I could maybe have a conversation with her about while others might be going underneath the house.
right, but we also have a stone that told you where the largest riches in this entire city are.
I
Right,
think
but
the
this could
biggest
be a
problem
nice
there is
inconspicuous inn to get a meeting with her.
that- Yeah, but then how do we get Cholula down with us?
Well, Mr. Wilford has just shown us that he is quite capable of keeping very quiet in more ways than one. And both of them seem to have affected those of us around you, so perhaps some of you go in and have a conversation about salt. Maybe not. It could be any one of you as a representative of Feast and Fountain. And while you're talking shop, the others could quietly try and have a look around.
Because if we don't have to go into it while we're talking with her or nothing, but if we could just find out where the entrance is and if it's accessible from outside, or the way that we can find a path so that once we do have these keys collected, we know where to go and don't have to worry about blindly trying to find an entrance.
If I may, you two are the quietest, and people don't really tend to think very much of me, so they're kind of not expecting me to attack them or trick them usually.
Well, okay,
so
I guess in that sense.
maybe, I mean, they also don't think that I'm very strong or smart or funny or interesting, but that's not really the point. In this particular case, I just need to hold her attention for long enough that you guys can sneak in, right? So maybe in this instance, Ollie and I could broker the salt deal while you and Silas try and figure out where we'd get in through.
I don't agree with those mean things that you said about yourself.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I
But I
fine.
can
appreciate it.
give you some suggestions.
It's also
on-
confusing because you're still Cholula. Can
I will
you not
remove
be
the
that?
hat.
Yes,
I
thank you.
changed
I'm
to
sorry.
Silas and then I removed the hat.
Yeah, just a flash.
But I can perhaps coach you through different questions to ask as far as actually obtaining some salt that we will be using in the
Okay,
kitchen.
that would be great, because sometimes when I trip up, I panic.
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing about salt.
No, that's fine, but you're also very funny and charming, and people tend to take you a little more seriously.
Yes, they do.
But
it's not
you're
outside
also
the norm
loud
to
like
have a
me,
bodyguard
so
with you at meetings.
Yes, yeah.
that's true.
So-
I'll wear something nice.
We're in agreement that we shouldn't be looking for the motives of our potential enemies, and we should be chasing. We should be going for the keys. Yeah.
I think we should try to go for these keys before anybody else can
Yes,
get this
'cause
stone off of
I have
us.
this strange sense that we're not very safe the longer we have this stone.
So here's why I was asking who knows who you are. That was hard to say, but here's what I'm getting at. People aren't likely to go poking around at the estate. So,
Oh.
you know, the tavern, everybody who wants to steal this rock from us knows exactly where we live. But they don't necessarily know that we might be at Bramble Estate.
Right. Brambleman.
Are you suggesting we stay at Bramble Manor for the next few days?
I'm
Probably.
Either that or we
Suggesting-
leave the stone hidden there.
I don't want to
I
leave it
wouldn't
alone.
recommend leaving it alone.
No.
Just
Even
for, Just
there.
for safety. There's
But
no telling who knows what.
at the very least, it's also, how do I put this? Huge and maze-like. So, at least we have the advantage that Silas and I hope, know where all of the sneaky places to be are, so we'd get the jump on anybody who's trying to come in.
We can find
Good.
the room that's the least destroyed from time, and we can
Yeah, we can make it livable.
In-
Awesome.
In
at
the
least
meantime,
clean it up a bit.
The bedrooms
Right.
aren't bad.
in the meantime, it would seem we've potentially got one of the keys. Do we want to gather all of the keys first, and then try to make our way into
That's
the
another
vault?
thing. We have a bit of community
think so.
service every evening, which will probably put a
Right.
damper on our plans.
Bit of a
Right.
problem.
We can
We
hold
could always
for
muscle through
as long
that
as necessary.
No, because it's a. How many 10-day was that?
one.
It's a single 10-day that we have this thing burning in our pockets.
It's true.
Right.
We are least safe in an
See,
orphanage.
Okay, I had kind of a question. We have without even some of your dad's money. Thanks so much for not. You can have some. Absolutely, you should have some.
What? He didn't believe it existed, really.
But that's fair.
Right. I would split my share with the Harpers as per our organization, no one entity should really be party to that much wealth and power, but of course we should all, take a cut.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that. Fuck, where was I?
What I was saying, if you'd like,
Oh,
if the goal is to gather the keys and then make your way into the vault, to expedite things, I understand that you're busy in the evenings for the next 10 days. We can hold off if we'd like. We could also perhaps commission Steam and Steel to make us a lead-lined chest of some kind, so that at the very least these magics that can see or seek out items of such nature, it would be invisible to them. They'd be aware that it's invisible to them, but may not know where to look. That's one course of option. Another course of option is I can take care of finding a silvered warhammer, or I can go to the House of Inspired Hands and inquire about these automatons, just to expedite things and take some stuff off of your plate if you'd like.
Sure.
If you would at least inquire, we have a bag of gems. Mm-hmm. I think we could probably buy our way out of community service.
I don't want to spend a 10-day with this thing in a lead
That's what I'm
box
saying.
or anything. Right.
I'm saying maybe we just take a little trip back to court, but not on the other side of a jail cell, and we just suggest, hey, we don't really have a lot of time for this. Here's a sack of money. Could you hire somebody to do that with this sack of money?
I thought I'd read something in Code Legal about bribe.
No, I'm not suggesting a bribe. I'm suggesting this is legal tender to not have to do that instead. I'm not fluent in being in jail, but is there a monetary option instead of our physical bodies doing the thing?
I mean, I suppose we could ask, as long as we are clear that it's not a bribe, if we just ask if that is a possibility.
Does anybody know what the word is for the monetary version of the thing? It's not bail, because we're already out of jail.
It would be like paying a ticket.
Yeah, that. Can we pay a fine instead of community service?
That would be
We
something
could
to find
ask.
Potentially,
out.
you could inquire.
Because we could possibly have that done today,
Yeah.
But
and
we
then
could
move on with our
You could
lives.
pay
Also,
those orphanages if
We
that's
could
really
spend
what it is.
the next 10 days. I can keep it on my person. I have no issues with that. I won't, if we don't leave it around for someone to just find, I will have it on me, my body personally.
I'm not worried about it being found or us leaving it somewhere. We are going to orphanages to make beds, while people who have killed for this thing already are going to try to kill us for this thing
I don't.
at
Yeah,
an
I don't.
orphanage.
But
think we
whether or
should-
not we have it on us, they're gonna be after us anyway.
Yeah,
Which is why
but
I'm saying
that's-
get out of this orphanage situation and into the vault.
Who
as soon as
knows that
possible.
you have the stone?
You.
You.
Just me. No one else.
I think that Castellanter and Garland probably assume.
Probably.
They
How
might.
would they know?
Because we.
If Castellanter was sending
The
that.
doppelganger you said was in visage of Wilfred Crowell,
Yes, but
which
also.
we can assume is Wilfred Crowell.
Yeah, so one of the horses on the carriage that they were riding was headed towards Castellanter Villa and had one of Castellanter's horses. So likely the doppelgangers with Victorio.
Right. But the doppelganger is gagged in a prison cell.
That's true.
Yeah, but that's
If there were also the child that took the stone from the pocket of the doppelganger.
I don't think they know what it is though. Right?
They don't seem to know what it is. They were scared of it, but they do know that they had something and that we got it from them.
In the off chance that word hasn't gotten back to Victoria Castellanter, please excuse the jingle jangle of our
It's a cat.
of our studio keys. We're in a new space and there's a lot of life. here.
We're gonna go them soon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably see Tavern Cat jump up on the battle map at some point. So look forward to that.
Tavern
This
cat.
cat never comes in this room.
I
It actually fears people. And now it's like making origami with plastic.
Listen,
In the off chance,
just look at the set and
Yeah.
appreciate it,
Yeah.
and then excuse any noise problems.
Look at our pretty faces.
in the off chance that word has not returned to Castle Winter, we should really take the collar off of that thing at some point.
Yeah.
We can hit it during the break. No
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had a cat in your tent.
No, it's the loudest she's ever been.
It's for mice. We got most of the holes plugged, but some of them were in the
Right.
walls.
A cat came through one of the holes, if that really means anything to you. It's a joke now, really, at this point.
You're squirting.
We can
Oh,
potentially,
crazy.
if word has not gotten back to Victoria Castle Winter, that you were seen interfering. Which I don't know how it would, other than the doppelganger potentially escaping from prison or having guard in the prison.
Well, Vielle.
No, but what I'm suggesting is
Right.
that Victorio may go looking for his butler, who I would have to assume this cat is really going at it today. I would have to assume he knows his butler is a doppelganger, right?
If it, I would. I can only make assumptions. But what I'm getting at here is, if word has not gotten back to Victorio that you, the owners and proprietors of Feast and Fountain, which he funded, are not behind standing in the way of himself owning the Stone of Golorr, we could potentially shift the blame and point it at the Silver Stake or the Order of the Black Rain. I'm not sure exactly how we would do that, but
Listen,
it's an
guys.
option.
I've tried to lie about a lot of things, okay? And all I'm saying is, it's really only succeeded to really stupid people who aren't paying very much attention.
I'm right here.
Not you!
I'm not saying we
The general
lie.
public.
I'm not saying we
Okay.
go and speak to Victorio and tell him a lie. I'm saying we plant some evidence that points at them and not us.
Yeah, but there's a lot of eyes on us kind of all the time, unfortunately, against our will.
I'm okay with that plan.
The only evidence I can think of is a necklace. I know you just said that, but it's the only thing that ties one group to another.
How hard would it be to get a really quick replica of this necklace?
One that works.
Nope.
No.
Steam and Steel does do a bit of jewelry craft on the sides. I think Avi is very,
There's
very
someone else that
practiced.
does jewelry.
What I'm suggesting is, who's going to pick up a necklace that they think is a necklace of Fireball and just test it to make sure? Right? You don't want to waste the rest of it.
Right, but having practiced a magical practitioner,
They might be able to tell that it's.
Ah,
right,
yeah,
and there are
people
certain
can do
magics.
that.
There are certain magics that exist that can identify what an item is and how it works
Have you
as well. Actually, also just down the street, the other direction in Troll Skull, Bookworm's Treasure. Jesus, there's a very practiced magical caster.
You two gotta stop talking with your pens.
There's a very practiced magical caster that owns that shop. I believe he sells spell scrolls from time to time as well.
So,
You could test it and see if he could identify it, and if not, then
so we see if we can pay our way a ticket, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
there is a magic shop in the Dark Ward. Not particularly a magic shop, but he keeps a few magical items,
Okay.
below
So,
the belt.
why
were.
don't we, just like we're just a test run on maybe sneaking around to find the entrance to the gold later, Ollie and I can go talk to the jail people, the court, and see if we can get out of this with a ticket or a fine and just pay our way out of community service
Sure.
while you guys try to sneakily plant some evidence that somebody else has the Stone of Golorr, not us.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah. Really, whatever gets us into the vault as soon as possible.
It's not an incredibly uncommon magic item, but it is probably quite expensive. We could potentially just look for a necklace of fireballs.
But we need to get rid of some charges.
Right, well.
We could just give them the
We
one that
can
has the
switch
charge
it
and just buy Ollie a new one.
Yeah, I mean, but
That's true.
listen, Ollie, I know that you're really excited about it, but in the scale of priorities,
With the right amount of gold, you could have 4 charges and give up the actual evidence.
Ollie, sort of very sad, pulls the necklace out of her bag and puts it on the table. You guys are gonna make me live in the Bramble House too, so
maybe, just a maybe.
We can take the heavy things you put in your room and take them over there.
I just
if that's
want
what
the
you
lotions.
Fine.
I don't think there's a working.
Going to leave.
Is there a
potions.
working bathroom?
Yes, there is.
Yes.
Or
I lived there for so long. How could there not be a working bathroom?
we could also do what we were talking about doing before we were arrested, which is we stay here, but we stay together and have one person on watch each.
I'm more worried about the staff and clients and guests that we have invited to be here all the
Collateral
time.
damage, potentially.
Right.
I'd really rather not
We
be
could also
responsible
stay
for...
at the Yawning Portal and pay Derna not to let anyone know that we're staying the night there.
I think that we're really banking on us being very sneaky all the time.
Aren't you grey hands?
Yes.
Yes.
You could potentially stay at Blackstaff Tower. There's no safer place in Waterdeep.
But
Oh.
what if they start asking why? And hey, why are a lot of people lurking around?
I don't
That's a
think
great
that
question. I don't have an answer for that one.
she
But I know
doesn't
it's safe.
seem like the type to ask a lot of questions.
But they might if people start lurking around looking for us.
Well, I just mean working with her. Her name is escaping my brain.
Vajra Safar.
Vajra, just with the way that we worked with her so far, seems like she understands the need to only give information that is absolutely necessary. Does that make sense?
That does seem... Not to Vajra, right? She's probably not going to care why we're there.
Right.
But if we suddenly pick up all of our things and make a move,
It's suspicious.
if we just quietly start staying at the Bramble Manor, at the very least, yeah, that's your house.
I mean, we'd still be taking our things and moving to that location.
Quietly.
It just depends
It's not
on-
a place people keep a lot of eyes on.
But I mean, we could quietly be staying at Blackstaff. It just
Okay.
depends on who's watching us when we go into bed for the night.
I think both are very valid options. There's just more protection at one than the other, but also more red flags raised.
Why don't we try the
Same time.
manor first? And if it is too much or too uncomfortable, then we can go talk to the staff and see if they don't mind us
Or
staying there. For
if
the
we catch so much as a single person who followed us to the manor,
we kill them.
There's that, and there's no collateral damage. We can go hog wild there.
As long as we drop the
I mean,
body in the
you know,
sewers, the
there's-
watch doesn't mind.
There's really, you know,
I
and
prefer to avoid wanton murder if I'm going to have any involvement in this.
you don't have to be there.
Right, you can stay where
You
they
don't
know
have
that
the
you're
stone.
involved in this
Right.
at all.
You can hide out there if you want.
I mean, they
but-
did try to take you and took Floon.
Yes.
But at this point, you didn't have the stone then. Why would you have it now?
True. Are you suggesting I take it for safekeeping?
Oh, that might be a good idea. Oh, but
If
what
your
if they are
father's-
still after you?
If your father's got spies on you already,
Yeah, I wouldn't. No, that's a really bad time.
Right.
I think we leave this meeting. Is it daytime?
yeah.
Okay.
About 11:30 bells.
Okay.
On my
Could we
watch that doesn't exist.
stay here for the day, go about our business like nothing weird is going on during the day today?
Go do our service.
I would really like to sleep a little bit
Mhm.
today. maybe during the night we try and quietly make our way to the manor.
Sure. I mean, we can all sort of lay low for today if you want to get some sleep,
Yeah,
and
you can
then
sleep.
this evening we'll go do the job we're supposed to do, and when it's up, we'll go to the manor instead of coming back here.
The job we're supposed to do.
Maybe
Oh, I
we'll
think we
finish.
go buy our way out of that. I think. Okay, here's what I'm suggesting.
Today?
Yeah.
All right.
Why wouldn't we?
Well,
Why
I
would
just
we
you
go
were
to
talking
an
about
orphanage with the most
trying to sleep,
the most
and then
sought after thing?
we just
Well,
left there, and then going back to say,
Yeah, I know.
actually, can we just pay you off?
Well, we can just go in the evening on our way to the manor. It's not that far.
And then they're left with no one to clean
Yeah.
the space that these children are living
There
in.
are a lot of people who do want to be paid to do things,
Mhm.
and if we give them just a lot of money, they're probably still going to have somebody else who's in trouble do it.
Possibly.
It's really less about this is something that needs to be done really, really badly, and more about y'all made us clean up some things, and we don't like that.
I
So
just
go
don't
do
want
that.
us to be counting on that plan.
If we still have
working.
to do it, then yeah, we go to the manor after. But I'm really hoping that they're gonna be like, great, yeah, we'll take your money instead. We just assumed you didn't have money.
Yep. We'll be going there anyway. If they make us do it, we're already there.
In the meantime, should I inquire about an automaton at the House of Inspired Hands, or should
Sure.
I procure a silvered, what was it?
Can you
Warhammer?
Warhammer.
I have the money right now if you'd rather go and get the Warhammer, because at least we know we can probably pay for that right now without raising eyebrows.
Yeah.
Of course.
But
If
going to the Inspired
Hands.
House of
Hands.
Inspired Hands, Temple of God.
If we go to the Temple of God, that might be a little weirder. It means we're either asking about automatons
Then
or
perhaps
we're asking about automatons.
Or just
perhaps
getting into-
Renee.
Craft.
Perhaps Renee could go to the Temple of God, and we can go to the armory.
That's actually a way better idea.
And we can get the Warhammer, if you wouldn't mind.
Of course. I shall visit him this evening.
Yeah.
Perfect. If you would like, I can chip in for the Warhammer. Just we could
I mean-
call it a bit of a, just that I'm good for it.
Well-
Bit of a deal, as far as if you were willing to cut me in on whatever might be inside this vault of dragons.
Why don't we call it more, we'll take care of the Warhammer, and if they have a tiny automaton, if you'll get that
Of course,
while you're there.
this can be arranged. I'm going to have a couple of drinks downstairs so as not to arise suspicion, and then I'll be on my way.
That's great. I'm going to stay here if you will take this rock back off of my bed. I don't need anything else talking to me. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Right.
Good day to you all. Good luck with your fine repayment.
Yes.
Veneer exits the room and heads down to the tavern portion of Feast and Fountain to have a couple drinks.
I'm gonna pass
Breakfast
out.
beer.
Breakfast
You
beer.
tell me when I am safe to have counted a long rest.
Absolutely.
While
So,
everybody else does stuff.
over the next 8 hours, as Anna is taking her rest, what are the rest of you up to? In the meantime,
I'm going to draw the curtains in my room and have just a table set up with a candle in the middle of it. I'm going to kind of practice with my shadow a little bit more.
yeah, he is resistant at first, but you start to find some common ground.
You'll have to come down sometime. We have to talk about the silent thing that you did earlier.
Yeah, and it's weird. The candle is like, at certain times the candle is burning in front of you, but it's not like your shadow is kind of dancing behind you. Rather, it's dancing in front of you, and you're just sitting in this weird shadowless spotlight as he avoids you.
Okay. So let's try the quiet thing again, sort of. Right. And then I'll be like, cut away.
Yeah, and then suddenly it's silent in that room. Cholula, what are you getting up to?
I just want to run to either the office downstairs or a close by shop. I just want to get a couple more paper birds just to have on me.
For sure. How many would you like to procure?
I think like 5.
5? Yeah, that'll come out to about 2 gold pieces.
Okay, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna just kind of short rest and chill in my room.
Hell yeah, you can do so. What is Ollie getting up to?
Ollie, kind of knowing that she has some time to kill, is gonna sit down in her room after she's sort of like packed up all of her lotions and potions, because it looks like she's going to somewhere less desirable than where she wants to be. She's gonna try to talk to Bacop again, because that was a very vague answer, and that doesn't help. So I think she's gonna just like sit in her room, try to zone out, and like take that, like unclip her little symbol of macabre from her like collar and just sort of hold it in her hands, and try to repeat over and over again, I desired answer. That's not helpful. The whole point of me giving Castellanter this job was so that he could take care of this while I took care of my responsibilities to the temple that I felt like I needed to uphold. And just to wait for an answer, hopefully.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the D100 again.
That's what you could sound like.
Stay tuned till after the break.
It's a 34 again, so I don't know if that...
34 again.
That's weird. What are the
odds?
The lighting once again flickering around you, even just the regular candle and torchlight in the room, in this space. And you all do have a bit of arcane lighting in your various rooms that are all varied and specific to each of you. And it once again goes blue. You hear the whimpering voices again, and that deep chuckle. And a different voice this time, that just kind of lightly, cheerfully dances over all of it. And it's strange. It's serene against what is an otherwise kind of alarming scene to be hearing. And you just hear a faint voice that says, "It is his salvation, my child. It is what he desires." And then the lights go back up to red. Or rather, their usual orange flicker.
Okay. Do I get the feeling that they are talking about Castellanter?
Make
What
an
was
insight
that?
check.
Let's go ahead and move this.
17?
17. You get the sense that everything that you've heard in these past 2 visions pertain directly to Victoria Castellanter.
Okay. That doesn't make me feel better with that weird laughter earlier. Okay. Okay, then yeah. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to figure out.
Okay. As Ollie continues going over these prayers and these strange visions that she's being given. And Alma finds her rest, finally. Silas trains with his shadow. And Cholula, what were you up to again?
I was getting paper birds,
Right.
and then I was gonna take a nap.
Right, yeah. Cholula gets back from running errands and begins also finding her rest from the very busy evening and long day of running that you had prior. That's where we're going to go ahead and take a quick break.
I have a question.
But before we do, to enter for your chance to win, if you actually want to just roll that into the center of this D20, or...
I'm sorry.
Freaking nailed it, dude.
If you want to enter for your chance to win this beautiful
It's right there.
rainbow metal D100,
It's so shiny.
we will be announcing the winner when we arrive back from our break. But in order to enter, to win, get in the chat now and type in the word rainbow. That's
Rainbow!
Rainbow.
That's RAINBOW. No capitalizations, no punctuation. You should get a confirmation from Moobot whenever you enter to let you know that you have done so. You do need to be a follower to enter. So if you haven't already, go ahead and click the heart on the channel because we would love for you to be a follower and to be able to win free stuff from us. And it doesn't cost you anything. It's free.
It's free.
Yeah. So go ahead and enter Rainbow in the chat for your chance to win. Stick around and we will announce the winners after the break. And then we'll see where this is going.
Where this is going.
Where's it going?
We'll
Good
see
luck.
you guys in about 20 minutes, so don't go away.
Stay.
Hi everyone. Welcome back.
Hello.
Before we hop back in, we have a giveaway to announce. The winner of this beautiful D100 solid fucking metal.
Careful.
It was a joy to roll.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's rainbow, it's gold. Thank you once again to our sponsor, More Fun Comics and Games, for allowing us to give this away. Enter the word rainbow in the chat. You've got maybe 30 more seconds before I click this button and we find out who's taking it home. And then we're going to hop back into the game and figure out what you guys are doing. But we're also going to announce our second giveaway of the evening. I don't know why I did quotations. That was supposed to be two.
Yeah.
This
It's
is the
real.
second one.
It's
They're
not fake.
twos, but they're claws also.
All right. I hope everyone's in who wants to be the winner of the More Fun Comics and Games Metal Rainbow D100 is M-03. Congratulations, M-03. We will let you know on the back end how we can contact you. I think we know how to contact you and get these things to you. But yeah, thank you guys so much for entering. But don't go away because we're also going to be giving away this beautiful, gorgeous set of Fantasy Forge Curse of Strahd themed dice. I'm gonna give our stream director a moment to get all of that set up, and then I will let you know what the keyword is. But in the meantime, I think I'm gonna grip it, and I'm gonna rip it, and then I might tip it and set it.
Oh. But also, like, as a person who's purchased a set of these, because Cameron let me sneak some of the dice. Those are beautiful and they're lovely. I just rolled up my next character with them. Chef's kiss. They have the luck of Silas's dice. At least mine did. So
How many sets do you have?
It's nice having the big one too. It's not
Like
just like a
overall?
small set. Like, it's nice having the,
Oh, I mean,
the,
how many
the jumbo
Fantasy
Yeah.
Forge?
and all these sets.
Yeah, and that the Fantasy Forge dice shop will be opening very, very soon. So keep your eyes and ears peeled.
Keep those eels
Keep your
peeled.
eels peeled.
honestly, you really do, because he's not giving me any sort of heads up about this. And if I beat you to those dice, I'm gonna take him home. I'm gonna.
So, stick around for that. But in order to enter for the giveaway to win these fantastic Curse of Strahd dice, enter the word Strahd in the chat. That's STRAHD. 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 No capitalization, no punctuation to enter for your chance to win these beautiful, gorgeous handmade dice.
Wipe
But
it
for
away,
now-
Robbie.
But for now, we've got some things to do. So, Alma, as you awaken in the evening,
Just some sips before we get into it.
Yes.
yeah, I think you probably awaken just about enough time to have an hour before your community service.
Okay. Down at the tavern, I'm gonna go ahead and approach the bar.
Okay.
Who's working?
Currently, it is. I believe it's currently Pell Day, just kind of middle of the week. So it would be.
We gotta go with the weaker staff on midweek stuff.
So it's
We
probably.
didn't hire any weak staff.
Sorry, I'm blanking on everyone's name. Dag. Dag slash Lee
Dag.
tonight.
Hey, Dag.
Hey there.
Hi. Busy today? Sorry,
not too
that's
bad.
not-
We'll probably get our rush here in a couple hours.
Okay, great. Can I get 4 bottles of our worst cellar?
Sure. Yeah. He
Yeah.
just goes and gathers them and hands them to you.
Yeah. What do I need to? What do I?
Well, it's your bar. I mean, you can pay if you want, but you technically own these bottles.
I'm just gonna sweep them up. Thanks so much, and get them into my bag. And then I'll go look for Cholula. Is everybody downstairs?
Where is everybody? It's been about 8 hours since you've seen Alma.
I'm probably chilling in the common room.
Okay. Chula's upstairs.
Okay.
Probably everybody's up in the house
Yeah.
portion.
Okay. Okay. So we probably need to get ready. I hate that we're splitting up for this. Ollie and I need to head to the jail.
I think we were all gonna go for that pot.
On the off chance that
In case they
don't
say
let
no,
us-
we
yes,
need to
yeah.
be where we're supposed
Okay.
to be.
Right.
Let's say we offer. How many gems do we have?
We had what was that total? It was a lot.
It's like $1,500 worth, right?
Something like that.
Each one of them was worth 500?
That feels right. I didn't
500.
write it down.
Yeah, I think it might be good to ask them if there's a way that we can sort of pay a fine rather than doing the community service.
Yes, that's the goal, but I need to know what we have to offer as our fine.
Oh, they're
I don't
each-
want to offer all of them.
They're each worth 500. We could probably give them one.
Okay,
That's 4 people.
great.
500 GP. I
Yeah,
cannot
5.
imagine they're going to turn that away.
Yeah, 5
Great.
gemstones worth 500 gold pieces each.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's
fantastic. So, let's head that way.
Right.
Sure.
Come on.
Let's go. Just advice as somebody who's been carrying around other beings with them for a while. They'll just kind of follow you against your will. You don't have to tell them.
Right. It's just how, you know.
Seems
Talk about
polite.
it later. We have pressing
I
issues.
guess. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Thank you, though.
Oh.
Yes. No. I do mean to ask you some advice.
It just helps to blend in if you don't talk back all the time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'll try not to.
It freaks people out. I found.
Good to know. And I'm sorry. Is that what I'm supposed to say?
No, you don't have to apologize. We're walking. You don't have to apologize. It's just
No, yeah.
It might help you not feel quite so unusual.
Good to know. From an expert.
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, we're all going together and we're staying together, right? At least for a little bit.
Yes.
And then after that, you two, you're leaving to go get Warhammer, right? That was the plan?
No, we can all go together to put the evidence somewhere that would make people believe that somebody else has the item.
Okay.
But really, I think you two should be in charge of handling it since you're the sneakiest.
Right, yes, we're gonna see how this goes and then see how we go about our own
I was just making sure I had it all right in my head.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I hope this
Anyone?
works.
Wanna head off the talking when we get...
I can try.
I could ask. If you want, I can be a little bit convincing if I need to be.
I figure usually when I ask for things, people pity me and they let me do kind of whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
So that sometimes works, but sometimes it doesn't, and that's when somebody charming should probably come in.
All right.
But if you want to just back me up,
Mm-hmm.
we might be able to. We can just team that up and just get it in one.
Okay.
You guys arrive.
What did I say that's weird?
You arrive at the courthouse in Dock Ward,
Oh.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't miss something, did I?
No, that's how I'm feeling right
We were
now.
going to the mall.
You arrive at the courthouse in the Dock Ward, and stepping inside, there's the area where you were processed is kind of off to the side of it. There's another clerk who you essentially sign in with. You see a human woman with short brown hair, kind of cropped just at the ears, and yeah, she's got fairly fair skin and blue eyes. Hello.
Hi there.
Here for check-in.
Hello. We are here for a check-in. However, we were hoping to maybe speak to somebody who could help us renegotiate the terms of our sentence, if that's at all possible.
Right.
It's really important.
Can I get your names?
Jalula Duvet.
Alma Newport.
She's got like like you see the desktop she has is just like kind of a small square, and on either side are just rows of files that are just kind of open as she kind of flips through and pulls a file. Newport, Duvet,
Silas Wilford.
Mr. Wilford, and
Ollie.
Ollie. Wonderful. Right, it says here that Magister Silmhelv has sentenced all of you to a 10-day of changing the bed sheets and cleaning them at 3 orphanages throughout town, and you're looking to potentially pay off this debt as a fine instead.
Absolutely. That would be
Yes, yes.
fantastic. What would the cost of that be?
Right, for a 10-day of labour as such, that's going to come out to 200 gold pieces.
Do you have change?
Easily.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have change for a gem?
Make a persuasion check.
Who?
One of you with advantage.
Guys, I have a +7. I'm just gonna say it out loud right
I
now.
figured I was going to pick up my dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Alma says in canon. Guys, I have a
Yeah, I'd say
+7.
you guys don't you don't perceive Alma as necessarily being very charismatic, but there's something
With
about her.
advantage. With advantage.
There's something about her that's very likable. There aren't many people who, like, even when she walked up on Yagra and Ollie in the first episode, Yagra was just kind of like, yeah, this is fine.
That is a natural 20.
Oh shit! The most advantageous.
For a 27. We don't normally barter in gemstones. We try to stick to what we have in currency. But what have you got?
Cholula, if you wouldn't mind.
I've got this one gemstone should be worth about
I
500.
take it out of her hand.
If you
This is already cut, and it's cut to perfect angles in a princess cut. It is worth about 500, as it were.
Right, I
And-
forgot he has jeweler's tools.
I couldn't appraise it any more or any less, honestly. It is exactly how it's supposed to be.
Right, let me make you some change. She takes it off your hands. She
Sorry.
hands over a pouch of 30 platinum pieces, which is equivalent of 300 gold, and hands that over to probably to Cholula, who gave her the gem. I'll see to it that the paperwork is filed and that you are freed from your service. Thank you very much.
do we need to sign anything?
Anything to find this?
Just sign here. That'll be 10 signatures, one on each of these sheets of paper.
Okay.
It's almost like
do all the
community service
signing.
itself, isn't it?
Yeah, and you guys go through and you do the 10 signatures on each file. You don't even have to even read anything, actually. She just kind of points everything out for you. Brought to you by Carbon Brewery. She points it out to all of you. You sign your names, and you are freed from the burden of community service.
Those orphans get to live.
I'm very sad about this actually, because I on my quest sheet I wrote out the 10-day and little bubbles so I could fill them in. And
You should keep that in case you want to garner a skill later.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that doesn't have to wait. You have to have downtime to work on those things, but it doesn't have to be consecutive. You can start a thing, and if you have a free day, you can work on one of those. Just so you guys are aware.
oh,
So you pay your way out of a fine.
Listen, we had the gems. We do not have the time
Yeah.
for
Speaking
orphans right now.
Speaking of time, where are you headed from here?
Okay, that worked better than I think any of us anticipated.
Right. So.
We can-
Apparently, it was an option the whole time.
Yeah. You think they would mention that in the hearing?
Now we know
at least
the
in
next time we get arrested.
Yes.
Let's just not do that.
Yeah. No. that
Why
would
don't
be
we
ideal.
head to Steam and Steel and procure a silvered warhammer?
Yeah. We have the
Perfect.
platinum now. We can do that.
Absolutely.
Are they called platinums? Platinum is the material, but they're called something else.
In
right?
Waterdeep, it's something
Oh,
else.
what was the
It's not moons. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who cares?
Probably something that sounds like something else if you don't say it right.
let's just say moons. I kind of dig it.
Now I feel like I need to know.
Sorry.
It's fine.
You guys begin making the trek from the dock ward back up to the north ward, and eventually find yourselves back in Troll Skull Alley, just down the street from Feast and Fountain, approaching a shop that has open windows kind of on all sides and steam constantly just pouring out. And you're all familiar with the side of this place, but none of you have been inside. Stepping in, you hear the loud clang of a hammer on an anvil, and you see two figures are working here. One that's kind of doing some blacksmithing in the back that has kind of a bluish skin tone, and whenever with each swing of the hammer, you can see as the slightly longer hair on his head that's just a dark indigo just kind of sways almost as if he were underwater. And standing behind the counter, you're greeted by a pretty tall and broad man with deep red skin and kind of maroon hair. Welcome, Tavern Cat number 2. This is Lolly, everyone.
It's all babe.
We really need to get an emote slot that's just
Yep.
when there's a cat.
Yeah, so the chat can just flood with "Thank you for being here." Oh, anything in particular you wanted? Oh, just put your face close to a hand. That's good. It's that time of night, I guess.
Yeah, broad man with maroon hair, reddish skin, standing behind the counter as you enter. Hello there. Welcome to Steam and Steel. What can I help you with?
We were looking to get what was it again?
A silvered warhammer.
A silvered warhammer, yes.
Right, we can do that for you here. Will you be providing the warhammer yourselves, or do you need to purchase
We
that
were
as well?
hoping to get custom
Yeah.
from you.
Perfect.
Nothing super special, just silvered.
Wonderful. Altogether, it's going to come out to 30 gold pieces.
Sure.
And the work itself, we don't have any silver warhammers on hand currently, but we can get something out for you maybe the next 2 days.
Platinum fine. Or do you need smaller?
Oh no, platinum works.
Hand it over.
Wonder, you hand over 3 platinum.
Whew.
Thank you kindly. We'll get right on that for you. Avi, silver warhammer. And I would say you've been around enough to probably know that these are a fire genasi and a water genasi. And the one named Avi turns around and nods. He's like, okay, right on it after this, Henrik. And gets back to his work.
Is there anything we can do about expediency? Maybe kind of speeding up the process, moving us up in the queue, as
Alright, we do have a couple of orders we're working on. Say we had 10 gold. Get it to you tomorrow morning.
I slide forward 10 gold.
I'll be best get on that now. Right, will do. And he begins. He kind of like takes the sword he's working on and quenches it, and then you see he kind of goes to this rack of various weapons on the wall and pulls off a larger warhammer and a couple of ingots of silver that are behind there as well. And
Thank you.
work.
so much. We'll just
course.
have the tavern across the way.
Right, feasting and fountain. I don't have time to get over there myself, but I'd love to stop by and check it out. We've got an off day.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
please
should.
do.
We'll tell our staff to get you around.
Of course. Well, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you there.
Of course.
Anything else I can do for you lot?
I
think
believe
that
that's it.
covers us here.
Maybe
Do
later.
you need anything?
No, I kind of am attached to the maces.
Okay.
I mean, we don't just do the weapons, we do armor as well.
Well,
I mean, while we're here, we can kind of maybe look around.
listen, I understand that there are priorities. How much would you say some full plate armor would go for? And I know that I'm already asking for something, but do you have something in the way of... And Ollie sort of just gestures wildly at like the blue robes. Can you do like a...
We can work your design into whatever it is that you're after. Ollie's one of the most talented smiths there is around here. Full plate, pretty expensive. It's going to usually cost you around 1,500 gold pieces. No extra added cost for the design work. That's just aesthetic.
Okay. And Ollie sort of like pulls out a little slip of paper and writes down that number and slides it back in her pocket. I'm gonna need to work on that number, but I'll be back.
Right, of course. Well, thank you all for stepping into Steam and Steel on this day, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Right. You all exit Steam and Steel, having purchased and commissioned your silvered warhammer. It's it's past 7 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 8 bells in the afternoon, in the evening. What do you guys want to get up to tonight?
We don't have to, but I did leave one of my knives with Vielle at the windmill when we jumped out the window.
We were just in a smith's. Is that not?
Well,
We could have custom knives.
it was already my personal parrot knife that I lent out, and also I don't know if she survived. If y'all aren't comfortable with going back, I can try to find her on my own.
I think it's worthwhile to be seen in as many places as possible except the last one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
I could send a bird
No,
to
what
her.
I'm saying is I think it's a great idea for us to go all over town tonight. Obviously, right up till the end.
Sure. Then
Also, I don't really want to separate if we don't have to now. You still have Ollie sort of the stone. So I don't really want to leave you by yourself.
At this point, it's been. You don't live that far from Stone of Steel. It's like literally a couple of houses down. You're already standing in front of Feast and Fountain at this point. Or inside if you'd like. It's up to you guys.
I mean, we weren't planning on going back there, so.
Okay. Well, if you're just standing outside Stone of Steel, then that's cool too. I'm just trying to figure out where you are currently.
We're about to head to the windmill.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
Okay, so you're on your way back to the southern ward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
we're just going back and forth, you know.
Perfect. Yeah, that's totally fine.
We should really consolidate these trips.
I like getting my steps in.
Well,
Or are you counting them? Is it just manually?
he carries an abacus around.
You see every time he takes a step, you can see the hands of his shadow.
He's actually just making a circle with his hand. Like, oh, I've completed my circle for the day.
Wow.
Oh, this is a deeply embedded.
Ow.
After about 45 minutes, you start approaching the area where Vial led you before, and you see that it is currently roped off. There is a rope that has been dyed bright yellow that's tied around a perimeter, and you can see several officers in City Watch livery standing guard outside.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be tricky to get your knife back.
Excuse me. What happened here?
Double murder.
Murder.
Yeah, two
And
dead.
Isn't this abandoned?
No, tons of people living here.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually,
Well, not legally squatting, but you
I
know.
was looking for my friend Vielle. I thought she was coming by here. Do you know, is she okay? Is that one of the people?
I'm not at liberty to give out that information. Ongoing investigation.
But you wouldn't tell somebody if their friend had just been murdered? That seems a little
Listen, I'm just
aggressive.
supposed to keep people from going in, and you can't pass this line, obviously.
But
You're doing
that's
a great job.
fine,
Thank
but
you.
you know, the poor girl doesn't have any family in this town, so it would really be great if we could just know that she's okay at least.
Make a persuasion check.
Thank you.
Actually, make a deception check. Cause you lying.
Is it a double digit?
No, I mean, it becomes one. It's a
Okay.
10.
Okay. Alright, I'm not supposed to say this. You didn't hear this from me. But there's two dead inside, right? Found some weird culty stuff in their closet. Like full on pentagram circle, like devil worshipping stuff. I know their names were Arn, something or other, and Sephia. That's it, that's all I know. I haven't heard about a Vielle Levol.
I didn't say her last name.
I thought you did. I'm sorry, that's my fault.
How does this go?
I haven't heard anything about no Vielles, just Arns and Sephias.
Did you say on?
Arn.
Arm.
Arn.
On.
With an N.
Okay.
Yeah, stupid name. Probably short for Arnold.
No, that's great. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you letting us know that our friend is at least not dead.
Right. Yes.
Right?
Thank
Hey.
you so
Not dead
much.
here.
The cult stuff in the closet, and Ollie sort of like pulls out of her pocket her sort of torn off thing that she used as a mask for last episode. Does it look like this down here? But like, and she turns it so it kind of points in the way that the
Kind of. It's more like it's like an arrowhead, like pointing down, and then there's a circle, and then there's like a triangle behind it. It doesn't look like that.
Okay,
That looks like a star.
so definitely not Order of the Black Ring. It's the. Oh, I know. I
Wait,
drew
are you
a
holding
picture.
up your holy symbol?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
She
doesn't look
she
like that.
showed you a pentagram upside
Yes.
down.
Like,
I would say,
It was like this kind of thing, yeah?
yeah,
Yeah,
it looked exactly
okay.
like that's not what he's describing. That's the solar stake. It
You
looks
said
like
a
that.
circle.
okay, Okay, cool. So yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about.
Sorry. The thing with this.
It's a public service announcement to
It's exactly like
Yeah,
this.
it's
Yeah.
it's the
That looks like an upside down pentagram as you described it in episode 1.
It's a public service
Okay,
announcement to
yes.
put ink in your printers.
Yes.
okay. And Ollie just turns to the gang. That's
Yeah,
order of the black.
figured as much.
Well, that's pretty scary.
Alright, well, we'll just, thank you. We didn't hear nothing. And, we'll find some other way to
I'm
find
sure
her.
we'll find her.
I'm gonna use one of those paper birds I got and try to send a message to Vielle, to meet us somewhere. Where should we, if this sends at all, and she's alive, where should we try to meet her?
When are we trying to get to? And Ollie sort of gestures at Silas. Is there a time? Because we can give her a time that we will be willing to stay at the Yawning Portal until that way there's a public place that we can be seen before we leave.
Yeah.
And it gives her a time that we're leaving. So,
I mean, unfortunately, we don't know when this bird is going to arrive
do I know
at
how long
her.
it takes birds?
It really depends on where the person is. It could take a couple of minutes or it could take days.
We can just set a time.
I could ask if maybe she'd be able to send a response somehow, but I can ask her to reply and meet us at the portal.
How many birds do you have?
6.
Is it possible to? I imagine they sort of fold themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Like,
it possible
put a
to?
little-
Yeah. Is it possible to tuck in
A dragon.
A return
a
bird.
return bird
Oh,
inside the folded?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Well,
then
we-
you just stack the piece of paper and it would be just a double thick bird at that point.
well, I don't know
I
if
would say
like the.
that, so there's a 50 word limit on the paper birds. So I would say if you had like another one at the ready, that once you essentially finish the letter and finish your part of the incantation, if you slap the other one on top, it would get folded up inside.
Okay. Maybe if we time it well enough, we can slip a return bird. Maybe we can write on the return bird because we have 50 words. Use this for a return and have it sort of set to come back to us.
Oh, I think she'll remember, or I think she'll recognize that that's a return bird. If we write on the return bird, I think it will also send.
Fair. Okay. What we could just time it and slap them together, and
yeah.
maybe they'll send together.
Let's try that. They're not too expensive. I can just get them if we need to.
I can pay you back what was needed for the 2.
Oh, no. That's fine. Okay, so I'm going to write to Vielle, I don't know how to start it.
Roll for it. Roll for every letter in the alphabet.
Roll for dictionary.
Do a performance check on this letter.
You could. I mean, does she have to go verbatim, or could she tell you roundabout?
No,
what
yeah,
she's
just give me
getting to?
the gist.
Yeah, like what are you trying
So
to
we need to
achieve with the letter? Just
Bog
meet
it
us.
down with semantics.
Yeah, I basically want to tell her that
I'm on a side mission to get my paring knife.
that we should talk. Bring the knife.
Alright, yeah.
Yawning portal tonight. Please
It's like
respond. Please
8.
reply
Right now?
Yeah.
By the time you guys got here, it's almost 9.
ASAP. I guess.
We could
Please
say-
reply, and then I'll send that to.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a quick dexterity saving throw to slap down that return bird.
Okay.
I believe in you.
15.
15? Yeah. You finish and quickly slap it down and it begins to fold. And it looks almost like it's going to kind of crinkle and mess up, but it rights itself and settles in. and you see a thick ass bird.
Thwop, thwop, thwop,
That-
thwop, thwop.
You hold your hand out and it like turns to ash.
Well,
What?
she's either been
That
taken care of or she's in another existence.
Well, I guess it seems
Let's
more
probably
likely
go with the
that
first
she's
one.
dead.
Yeah, it didn't really seem like.
Well, we'll get you a knife. It's not your favorite knife, at
No.
least.
Well then. Is there anything else we needed to do tonight?
A hideout.
We can head back to the manor if you'd like, or we can have a drink at the portal first.
Still be seen there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really think we want to be seen everywhere except on our way to the manor. So I think it'd be great to show our faces in a public spot.
Is there a tavern in that ward, like near
Oh.
where the manor is?
The manor is in the north ward. You're the nearest tavern.
We're the nearest tavern?
To Bramble Manor?
Yeah,
Yeah. Bramble Manor's in the north ward.
we're the closest one, other than
Frinsbrews.
Well, I guess it could be our manor. Our tavern.
Right. Have drinks there so that we publicly have been home, and we can go out the back of the kitchen.
We
and head
could
to the manor.
try Silas's shadow help again. If
Oh,
it's
right.
help with the sneaking, we could pretend to bed down for the evening and then us all sneak out. Quite frankly, that just puts us at our own place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
doesn't hurt anything.
Anyone who comes asking will say we're there.
Sure.
Right.
But we're not. It's like our own little secret.
Right.
Back to Chalk Skull, I suppose.
Sure. Yeah.
Alright. You make your way once again across town.
Perfect. We just cannot figure our way out around this.
I will walk.
You're all getting a
by
really-
contract.
You're getting a very good sense of the layout of Waterdeep, though.
Mm-hmm.
Really learning how to get around as you do it pretty much all day.
Actually, how late is it?
By the time you get back, it'll be like 10 bells.
Okay, I'll talk to Steam Steel tomorrow then.
Yeah, you got your pickup in the morning.
I'll
Oh, yeah.
I'll
There
ask
we
him
go.
about a knife then.
Yeah, you guys get back to Troll Skull Tavern. Make a bit of a show of being there, I assume,
Mm-hmm.
and head off to bed after.
Or pretend to.
Bed.
Too bad.
Right.
To bed.
So, what's the escape plan?
Well, wherever the furthest window is from the front, maybe the alley. I don't know if people. It's really just kind of service that way.
Is there a way out the window?
You want to use a window, or do you just want to go into the kitchen and leave out the back?
After the bar is closed.
Mm-hmm.
I will remind you guys that to get from the manor portion to the tavern portion, you have to go outside and around.
Mm-hmm.
So,
If we're already
You-
going to be
you
outside.
you essentially go out and in, and then to the kitchen and out again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, we'll just
I
do
need just
window,
like
I
a
guess.
constant map of everything in front of me at all times.
Mhm.
Yeah, whichever you prefer. I'm still trying to kind of lock my mind into this thing I've been asked to do.
Maybe let's take the window. Who's gonna be hanging out right outside our windows, right?
I mean, we'll check the windows before we get out.
Probably.
Alright. So, you all approach the nearest window, or rather, the window most out of sight.
Oh, the window closest to the next alley, I
Yes.
think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, which would be the most out of sight. 'cause
Okay.
It's in an alley.
Perfect.
And as you do, Silas's shadow once again stretches out beneath you. Can you do that more than once a day?
It says at will. It's treated like a cantrip.
Is it? Can you read it to me?
I have it in a spell list, but I have to go to my shadow words.
Yeah, go to your features and traits.
Yeah, I have to use key points.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, you should have plenty. It's what, 2 key points to use it?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you should have at least 4.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, as you all approach the window, Silas's shadow once again spreads out from under his feet and rises like a mist to connect to all of you. And I need all of you to make a stealth check. And you can add 10 to this roll. Because of Pass Without a Trace, which is the most helpful spell in D&D. 1 of them.
21.
21.
Dirty 20.
I rolled a 4.
I rolled a 5.
I also rolled a 5. 18.
Fuck you guys. Dirty 20, but I rolled a 10.
Hey!
Double digits.
Hell yeah.
Plus
So-
0, huh?
Yeah, she don't got dex.
Listen, I made a choice.
So, you all quietly and carefully make your way out the window and towards Bramble Manor once again. Easy enough, Silas, you have the keys to the gate.
I will lock that back.
Yeah, and we'll say you probably waited a couple of hours before heading out just to get deep into the night. Just like sniffing the microphone. I'm sure that sounds great.
What is this? What is this body? What is this body? What are you?
Shadow.
What is this?
It's shadow.
He's so mad.
You turned into a penguin out of rebellion. It was so wild.
So,
You see what you did? She doesn't like us, and she's over here.
I'm afraid to reach for
Look at
my
how
drinks.
angry.
Okay, we're going back to the manor.
yes, you arrive there, and you don't pass another living soul on your way to the manor.
They're all dead.
You take back alleys. There's one questionable body that you pass,
Just
but
Grum.
probably just asleep.
Why are you walking by?
Ooh, that guy had a lot of stab wounds.
Easy enough to get in, Silas. You hold the key. You make your way into Bramble Manor yet again, quietly and silently, which is the same thing twice.
You know, I wouldn't have known if you didn't put.
Unseen and unheard. We'll put it that way.
There you go. Yeah.
And you've got Bramble Manor at your disposal.
Can I do like a quick check and find the nicest looking bathroom?
Yeah, make a survival check.
I'm not helping.
I know.
I'll look it up if you wanted.
I'll help.
Because
Yeah.
Alma, you've technically been here more frequently in this state than Silas has.
Yes.
Does that- yeah, okay. I was like,
Yeah,
That's
you
far
get
as you know.
advantage because I'm helping you.
Spicy at the back.
Spicy. Oh, there you go.
Oh.
That might do it. Don't know if it makes the bathrooms any better, but
So 21.
21. On the second floor, kind of on the opposite end of the hallway from the master bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
you've come across a bathroom that's sealed, but Alma knows the proper way that you need to kind of lift the door to get it to open.
Okay.
And as it opens, it's strange. The rest of this manor is like partially open to the elements and is overgrown, even on the inside. There's various creatures that you can hear skittering through hallways as you pass through them. But this bathroom is almost like a time capsule. Like it was perfectly sealed so that when it opens, there is a thin layer of dust covering everything, but no rats, no bugs, no plants, not a hole in the ceiling to be seen.
Ollie is gonna take that sort of like ripped piece from her robes and just sort of like throw it over the door and sort of like tack it. So that there's just like this like symbol of macabre just on the front of the door, and she kisses the door and puts her little bag of lotions and potions that she took from the house just right inside the bathroom and closes it and turns around to the gang. It's like, we can do this. This is a good choice. She taps the door and then starts to look for the nicest bedroom.
Hell yeah. What are the rest of you up to?
Is there sort of a block of rooms that are together, or should we stay in the same area, or just kind of take turns with someone at the front door keeping watch, or are we just going to assume that no one knows we're here?
I don't think it's safe to assume that nobody knows where we are at all now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably a bad
is gonna
idea.
yell from wherever she is. 1 bedroom. We all stay in 1 room. We stay together.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah, we can do
Mine's pretty okay, but that's weird in its own ways. The master bedroom isn't terrible, but there is like a part of a plant growing through it.
It's quite a sizable hole in it.
Honestly, there's sort of a formal living room that's not too bad. The dining room is bad. It's pretty bad. It's really bad.
Have I found a room that seems
You can make another survival check.
habitable enough for 4? I know it's a +3. I can just roll. I trust myself. 7?
Alma's room is the most well kept. It's big enough that you could all comfortably fit.
Yeah, I was a noble child.
Yeah.
Well,
Plenty of dolls that could be used as bedding.
while we're all here, should we try to find anything else out we can about what happened to the rest of the family?
I mean, I feel like we've been through the house. You said I've been thinking about something. You said you'd spoken to the stone.
Mm-hmm.
How?
Well, I was just, giving it a look over for a while, and then it started talking to me sort of inside my head. It wasn't like coming from the stone physically, but I could tell that that's what it was. And it basically asked me what I wanted to know. And so I asked, what?
It didn't just tell you the keys to the vault.
I asked how to get... What did I ask?
It asked you if you wanted to know about the keys.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
It asked if I wanted to know about the keys. And I said, yes.
But just the keys, though.
Is there something that you're on to?
Did you want to take a look? I mean, did you want me to ask something else?
The procedure didn't really go well. And I maybe thought it could clear some things up.
Well, you could
If
try.
it's something that it does.
If it's all knowing, that
You
would
might
be a
have
great
to-
test.
Might have to sort of get accustomed to it for
Right.
a little bit before it'll start talking to you.
Does anybody want this bad wine I brought? And I just opened my bag with 4 bottles of
Absolutely.
cheap wine in it. This one is for me specifically, though.
Not necessarily
my-
cheap, just the worst seller.
Just the worst selling.
Sure, yes.
There you go.
Might make it
Ollie
easy.
There you
grabs
go.
the bag, but then immediately slides it back to you. Can you drink both?
Absolutely, yes.
Because we're gonna have to stay in your room.
Yeah.
It's the nicest room, and listen, it's the best one.
Yeah.
We all stay in the best. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Is that a
Then-
problem?
Well, you said you didn't really want to stay in your room because you thought it'd be weird. So the
Oh,
alcohol is to
mostly.
make it less weird.
That's great. It also makes the ghosts quieter, and I uncork it and start drinking.
Don't use alcohol to fix ghost
Don't
problems.
use alcohol to fix ghost problems.
Or any
Seek a therapist.
problems.
Seek therapy.
I pointed too.
You pointed with an alcohol can.
But she's not using it to stop
That
ghosts
being
from
said-
talking to her.
Get you some delicious Carbach beer.
Yes.
Or armadillo.
As
Cheers
long
to
as
you.
you don't use it to fix ghosts.
Be responsible.
Don't use it to fix things. Just use it to improve. Nope, we can't say that probably either.
So, as you all find yourselves huddled together in the rather
Almost
I'm
just.
going to the ballroom.
Oh, spooky.
by
Can
yourself.
I go too?
If you'd like to join, I just
I
don't
want to know what happens.
Yeah, don't know what this is going to be.
I won't bother you.
It's fine. Alma, I know this is probably absolute shit coming from me, but
Okay.
maybe take it easy and rely on your friends concerning the ghost thing.
Yeah. Yeah, this works though, so I'm gonna just.
Right. But does it?
Temporarily.
Yes, I didn't age, but
To the ballroom!
right, yes, to the ballroom.
You all make your way to the ballroom?
Yeah, I'll go. I want to see if this works.
Yeah,
These people love balls.
I'm kind of imagining like I'm walking through rooms, but my shadow's like running up to the edges of like corners and like looking around corners like
Yeah,
behind
and
me.
it's weird. When you step into the ballroom, there are continual flame spells that have been cast in this manner in certain areas, but they're old and weakening and nearing the end of their enchantment, but they just leave dim light in certain areas. The ballroom is not one of them. It's fairly dark at night, and when you approach and open the doors, the lighting from behind you has your shadow fill the room, and you all can swear that you see as Silas's shadow just kind of begins dancing and takes off on its own thing.
That's new.
Yeah, let me just get through this stone thing and then we can talk about whatever. We have a whole night of Alma drinking to get through.
I'll just watch that happen.
So, you step into the ballroom and you attune to the Stone of Golorr.
Yeah, I'm gonna like sit in the middle, kind of the way I do in the mornings before the workouts. I just
Yeah.
hold it.
New hands grace my presence.
No, you weren't kidding. Yes.
What is it you desire? Speak the name, person, place, or thing, and I will divulge all that I know.
I have a couple of things, if that's okay.
We'll see how I'm feeling. Where do we start?
Do I get the impression that there's like a personality behind this? From
Yeah.
that? Okay, cool. Well, might find this one a bit intriguing. What happened to me when I left de Montlieu?
Silas Wilford, a legend of his own right, whisked away by the mists to wither. But complacent not was he, for he wandered into the mists again with a key, and found himself in shadow, the plane of shadows, and there he withered, wandered, and wasted for years.
But the deal. There was a deal that was made concerning my memory.
He found his refuge and the answers he sought. A deal with a fae, a deal most promising. A memory, something you won't miss. But of course, you don't miss anything if you have none.
That's it then? What can be done about Genevieve's condition?
She could be restored for a price, of course.
A material price?
You should know. You've had the procedure done.
Yeah, but that didn't work, did it? Sorry.
Silas Wilford Bramble is different. Genevieve was driven to her condition by her association, her proximity to the mists, and time spent. She's not strong like the Wilford blood is. What happened to you was different. It was not done to you, but a deal that you made. Such pacts come with lingering repercussions. I grow weary. I shall sleep now.
And the voice fades. None of you heard any of that except for what Silas was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's resting, and I'll just kind of like throw it over my shoulder where I know Cholula is. Like, in her
Make a
direction.
dexterity saving throw.
That's not bad.
30-20.
Oh, there you go.
That's
Yeah,
not
he like
bad.
throws it over his shoulder and Cholula just catches it, puts it back in her pouch.
Wait,
He's resting.
what happened? Did it help? Are you
Good?
Do you remember?
No. Just told me everything I've already heard. Except for your mother can be helped,
How? For what?
restored, for money. I can't.
Shit. I don't have any money.
That's fine. It looks like we're about to run into a lot of it.
Fingers crossed.
We have these
Wait, but
gemstones.
what did it say? What?
He kind of dramatic, honestly. He kind of came in, whispery, seemed kind of condescending even, and then asked if I wanted to know information.
He asked if you wanted to know information? Is that the same that he asked you?
I think I asked about the cache of,
You
And
asked
he-
about the Vault of Dragons.
and he asked if I wanted to know about the keys.
Yeah.
Cholula says that.
Cholula says that.
Cholula says that.
Welcome to Arcanarama.
I stabbed him with my my knife.
That's not a knife.
That is not.
Okay, so it's a rock that's kind of an ass, but it does seem to be omnipotent, omniscient.
Omniscient.
There's the
Thanks.
Did you
So
want to
that's
give it a go?
I'm good. I talk to enough things in my head.
It said it was very tired, so it might take a bit.
She's the whispers around you.
Oh, fuck that.
They're always there, but sometimes it's fun for me to remind everyone.
I'm gonna go find.
I want a speaker right over here that just does it.
I haven't really named him yet, but I'm
The-
gonna go find him.
The rock? Oh, the shadow.
Yes, you see
Got
where he went. He kind of went off to my right. I'll find him.
I think he's back that way.
Cool. I'm gonna go see where he's dancing. That's
Yeah.
still a thing.
He's in that puddle that won't go away. I tried.
Yeah.
Just keeps refilling.
What are the rest of you up to? Just preparing to bed down for the evening.
I'm gonna look around the ballroom a little bit more because we didn't take a look at the ballroom. We just looked at bedrooms whenever we were here last. So Cholula's gonna just look around to see if there's any clues for about anything that happened here, and then she'll go pass out after that.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Are we taking shifts on sleeping, right? We should probably start that early so everyone gets a good, whatever their minimum is.
I went to bed today, so I can stay up.
Right. Your last shift? I can do first watch.
I actually want to take it.
We could also do twosies, just in case.
Right. Fewer
Sure.
chunks. It's not 16 or so hours. It's
Mhm.
not. There can be just 2 larger chunks.
Yeah, just as long as I can take the first one.
I'll take the
I
first.
can stay up with.
I mean, no, whatever.
Actually, Cholula, will you take the first one with me?
Sure.
Cool.
That's an 8 on investigation.
Oh no!
Very good
Kitty.
at looking.
Yeah, you take a look around
You
for
are
a little
very
bit,
good
but
looking,
Hey!
it's creepy by yourself, and you very quickly are over it, especially with all the talk of ghosts and
Taco ghosts.
Taco
especially with all the
ghosts.
taco ghosts that you know have to be in here.
That's a
You-
fart.
There's no telling how many tacos were eaten in this residence.
That last ball was a taco ball. Mm-hmm.
That's what all that smoke emitting from my clothes was.
Oh, think outside the ball.
Oh no!
You did this.
It's Taco Ball. Everyone loves him. Welcome to the Taco Ball. Dude, that's the restaurant, right? Taco Ball.
My lord.
The rest of you make your way back to Alma's bed chambers and begin setting up your various areas to sleep. Who's taking first watch?
Those two.
Silas, it doesn't take you long to catch your shadow. Get him back in line.
Come on. But, I guess sleeping. Oh, I don't know what you do.
Who's going first? Sorry.
Me and Cholula.
At the same time?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
doing 2 and 2
Okay,
trade off.
perfect. Yeah. If I could have either both of you brought to you by Carbach Breweries. If I could have both of you either make a perception check or one of you with advantage. It's up to you guys.
I'll take advantage. Okay. It gave me the same number, which feels like a cheat.
That's a decent roll, though,
It's like
but
not even playing the game.
It's a 16.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet. You, again, occasionally hear the skittering of rats and probably some kind of bugs crawling in the walls, but for the most part, it's serenely quiet.
I'm gonna sort of sit right next to Cholula and gently sort of put my hand out. I would like to try the stone while everyone else is down, if you don't mind.
Sure, yeah, not at all.
I'm gonna gently take it in my hands, trying to press my palms against it. I heard you trade information.
No trade. You simply give me a name, and I tell you what I know.
Castellanter. He's supposed to be rebuilding a temple.
Ah, Victoro Castellanter, I presume. Owns quite the ostentatious villa in the Sea Ward. Money lending is his game. He keeps up appearances, donating here and there. An orphanage from time to time, a temple on other occasions. His son went missing some years ago. At least, that's what the public was told. For his son still resides in the very home where Victoro lives. Locked away, a pariah, a scourge on the Castellanter name. Just like the other two will be, in time. The clock ticks ever onward, lest he get himself out of the foulest deal he's ever made.
Deal? He made a deal?
Yes, he did. He wagered the only things he had at the time. You know, there was a time some years ago when the Castellanters were low on funds, dangerously low. Almost of a level of that which does not befit nobility. The stories have been...
Sorry, this cat.
No, just a cat.
This is the closest I've ever been to bazooka. What?
Yeah.
Now she wants to be pet. Yeah. Now she wants attention.
Get that collar off her. No, I'm kidding. She'll bite you.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. I've never pet bazooka in my whole life.
I've pet Bazooka 5 times and I've lived here almost 4 years. She has like this force field around her. But now that our set's nice and built.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay.
Anyway.
That was
Yeah,
nice.
sorry.
Bye, homie.
You're welcome. For those people who just like to hear cat collars.
The story has changed over the years. People have forgotten which came first. The Castellanters down on their luck, and then their son goes missing. But then suddenly an uptick in business. Things bloom, things expand, the money is flowing. Castellanter made a deal. He traded one thing for another. I grow weary. We shall talk on the morrow. And the voice fades away.
I sort of look at Cholula and you can kind of see that like tears are sort of bubbling up and right at the insides, right at the corners. And I hand you back at the stone. I don't think he's done anything for the temple. I don't think he's done anything at all.
Victoria.
Yeah. I don't hear anything, but I'm gonna just take like a lap of the house just to make sure everything's okay. If you can make sure the rest of the watch is all right.
Of course.
And
I'm
always
sorry, Elliot.
It'll be handled. We have the stone now, so maybe I can use part of that money to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
But Ollie's just gonna sort of probably surprising to her because she probably doesn't expect her knee to support her right now, but just pushes straight up and walks to that bathroom. And you can just sort of hear water running. It's to hide the tears. And I think I'm gonna just start running a bath.
Yeah. As Ollie begins running a bath to soothe herself, Cholula, the rest of the watch passes without incident. And it's time to wake up the others.
Alright. kind of just try to do a light tap for both of them.
I peer up from my mountain of stuffed beings.
And I shoots it up. Like a fast Dracula setup. Pow!
Shouldn't
be that fast. Right.
Trinsies. Silas and Alma, if I could have either both of you make a perception check or one of you with advantage, whatever you'd like to do.
You do that with advantage.
Okay.
Roll them click-clacks.
Clickety clackety.
Clickety clackety. Get you a snackety.
You don't want the snacks that are left in this building.
17.
17. How does the evening unfold for the two of you? Or rather, does it, or do you just sit in silence?
I'll probably wander off to the hallway. Because there's no point in really taking watch inside a room.
Okay.
But I might kind of do a lap around the whole place.
Okay, Silas, do you follow?
Yeah, I'm just kind of walking and talking and not knowing, with her, but when she turns, I'm late to it. I'm kind of behind to all this stuff. Your room looks nice for, staying at the bookstore. Yeah.
For being, well, I did actually stay at the bookstore after this.
Oh, nice.
That was real. Although, I'm beginning to think it wasn't a bedroom. I think it might have been a storage room. Not here, but at the bookstore.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
That was definitely
That was
your
definitely
room.
a
Right,
bedroom.
yes.
We were rich at one point. That was a bedroom.
I haven't been in this bookstore, but I imagine it's probably a storage room, if I could say so.
I think it's a
it was
storage room.
probably.
I think she kind of just said, yeah, sure, you can stay here.
Yeah.
I have an extra bedroom, and then I think she just kind of put a pillow down in a room.
That's... You might have to talk to her about that,
I don't think she really remembers who I am,
Yeah.
actually. But in fairness, I think that one's less about me and more about her.
Yeah.
I think she just doesn't really pay that much attention.
Your self-confidence is
Bad.
is really bad. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could actually kind of circle on itself. You'll kind of when you meet people, you say things like "No one likes me," and it makes it hard to like someone like that sometimes.
No, that's
Maybe
super fair.
Right. Yeah. Maybe you just kind of fake it till you make it.
Yeah, mostly people are just really difficult,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't say all of the things that are really happening
No.
when you meet them. When you meet another person, you
right.
can't say, "Hi, I'm Alma. My head hurts all the time." And also, I spent a lot of time in a place where people tried to kill me and my parents. And also, my dad ran off to probably find help, but I'm not really sure because I didn't really know him that well. Now he's back, but he doesn't remember me or anything else. But now he does remember me, but he doesn't remember anything else. You can't say all of that to a human person. They get really upset.
For sure. Yeah.
They find that stressful.
Agreed, and it was very stressful.
Okay.
You're turning that
Just
way.
checking
Okay.
in.
I did look for a way to get you guys out. I want to clarify that for
Okay.
sure. And maybe you just get to know people a bit first. It's not "Hello, I'm Alma," then whatever you said that I
Okay.
never want to repeat again.
Okay. It might have been a lot.
Yes, you maybe
Okay.
go out a couple of times. Maybe you survive a couple of fights and rooftop chases. And then you can tell people things that make you uncomfortable so they can support you in that situation.
Okay, but everything makes me a little uncomfortable. Do you know what that's like?
Right, it's sorting that out.
Okay.
What makes you most uncomfortable? And then rank them. You don't have to say it now.
Okay.
Great. Did you have that second bottle of wine? I'm pretty
No,
close
that
to
one
the
is
end of
still
mine.
here. The first one is gone.
Right, mine is as well.
Mm-hmm. But this one was technically Ollie's. Usually I can only do one or I start to barf. It's a really bad time. That was too much. That's where I went too
No,
far.
it's fine.
Okay.
No, yes. But with me, it's fine. I'm
Okay.
here.
Great. Yeah, there weren't exactly a lot of other, kids or teens where we were.
No.
So kind of it was just us, and then it was just me and Genevieve. She was kind of, So it was kind of just me for a long time.
And it, yes, I can see how that could affect someone's
Okay.
bringing.
Did you want the second bottle?
There's a
I
little
did, yeah.
rumble
Oh,
as you
no.
guys are talking,
That's a
and you see like a little bit of dust unsettles from the ceiling, and there's a pause. It shakes again. A couple of portraits on the wall kind of fall askew, as even more dust and like bits of plaster kind of loosen themselves and fall from the ceiling. The two of you are awoken from your rest. You all do have the benefits of a full rest at this point.
Is this a general rumble, or is there a central?
Make a perception check.
Is it just, coming
Yeah,
from
I would
something?
like to. Can I, like, when I wake up, can I tell if an earthquake is happening?
That's 2 Fs. I don't know. It's not even a number.
I think I lost.
I think each F means a 10, so
That's
it's
it, no
20.
Natural 20.
19 on my perception, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
19. Wow.
Roman numeral for 10.
8.
F.
8.
Because
But-
we're in different areas, right? Y'all are not around us anymore.
Yeah, I imagine we were just kind of
Yeah,
west
like taking a
winging it.
loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Alma, what'd you get?
Oh, I didn't do that.
Make a perception check, please.
But okay. I wasn't curious about it really.
I'm just asking everyone.
Can't do that.
Thank you.
You gotta be on the
Alma doesn't give.
That is a natural one.
Alma doesn't give a fuck.
It's like dust and stuff. So
Oh, but I
it's
get
like,
my augury spell
what?
again.
You're just like, ugh. Oh, did you roll?
This
for
house is so
what you
old.
Yeah, I rolled for my thing and I get my augury again.
So nice. Well, if you have any questions,
She's jazzed.
she's jazzed.
Yeah.
A piece of plaster falls down onto your face as you're waking up, and you're just kind of like sitting back up. Cholula, you've experienced this before in Borca, and that was definitely an earthquake.
Uh-huh.
Silas, that felt like the outskirts of an earthquake. And if it's radiating outward, as they typically do, southwest of here. Oh shit.
That's the tavern. I'm just gonna grab you by the hand and just run to them, or wherever their bedrooms are.
Yeah, you guys are just down the hall. You run up and kick the door open, and Ollie is getting like ceiling plaster out of her
Are you
mouth.
still in
Just
the
a
bath?
little bit ashy.
She's just nude.
Are you still in the bath? Did you just get the ceiling plastered in
The
the
plan
bath?
was that I was gonna take the bath for the rest of our watch, and then I was gonna
Okay.
bed
I thought
down.
you just passed
Yeah,
out.
I assume that
This one is cold.
I fell asleep in the shower.
you wake up.
Get up, bitch. I'm sorry.
But something all other than plaster.
Ollie's back in the room asleep,
Yes.
where Cholula is. Rather, they were, but now they're both roused.
That feeling came from the tavern. We have to go.
From the
Okay.
tavern.
Run. I'm running.
Running.
Yeah.
We're
you
always
all,
running.
You all book it down the stairs, quickly running. Let me get some appropriate music. I should have planned ahead.
We weren't ready. We weren't ready for an earthquake.
I don't think we're ready for this earthquake.
Oh man.
You all rush and run out past the bramblevine and cherub statue of the old fountain, through the gate, quickly unlocked and close behind you, relocked, and turn, and you are running, tearing down the street. Silas, as you're running, you can still feel these kind of aftershocks. On that natural 20, this doesn't feel natural. This is too...
Rhythmic.
there's too much of a sequence to this rhythm of this rumble. It's not like a natural earthquake where it's just rumble and then some aftershocks. This is intention. There's intent behind this shake, and it starts to settle as you guys round the corner and are running down the high road. At this point, you take a quick left and then a right, ducking into Troll Skull Alley, just in time to see just a cloud of dust in the area. You see about half of Corellan's crown across the street has collapsed. All of the windows left on the greenhouse on the 3rd floor are shattered, and glass has littered the street. You see people roaming the streets in shock and in tears. Some look confused. They were just roused from sleep and are like still kind of wiping sleep from their eyes and looking around to see what's going on. And you see the feast and fountain, or what was the feast and fountain. You see rubble. A few support beams, maybe a quarter of the tower is left, and all of it has collapsed inward, bringing a piece of Corellan's crown, a little bit of the tiger's eye across the street as well, have just collapsed, and there is a fissure in the street. And that is where we're going to end tonight's episode of Arcanarama.
How dare you?
Get in the chat if you wanted to keep going.
Do
I'm not kidding.
I'll
Do it. We can bully the
If
DM.
we get 10 people to say keep going, this dude is going to keep going. That's true.
That's cute.
I will be party to this.
Dude master.
But before we keep going, I am going to announce the winner of tonight's giveaway.
Okay.
But I need time.
After this.
2.
But I need time to get that set up. So go ahead and get in the chat and let us know if you want us to keep going, because I will keep going.
Do we count?
Yeah, there's 4 right here.
Cameron, do we count?
I'll count whoever.
I mean, okay, y'all. Like, I do want to know what happens next, but that is a really good ending spot.
It is a really good ending spot. But it could be a better ending spot.
It's a good cliffhanger.
Well, we'll see what the chat looks like,
Yeah.
which I actually have in front
I
of me
did say
now
10
as
in
well.
the chat. I didn't say 10 on the tape. I started 10 in the chat. So it's got to be 2/3 of the audience currently.
Yeah?
If you are interested in winning the Fantasy Forge Curse of Strahd themed dice, handmade by me. That doesn't sell. I don't know what does. Take this opportunity. Enter Strahd in the chat. STRAHD. No capitalization. No punctuation.
What color are those dice?
They are a beautiful, clear casing with gold flakes and swirls of blood red and shadowy mist. And they're really cool. Miranda wasn't kidding. She actually did buy 2 of this exact set from me. So you can technically be dice twins with Miranda again.
Nice.
Based on the amount that she has purchased, there's a lot of people that could be dice twins. Okay, she's like,
And now with the power of my finger, I choose win.
I think that's fair. I
Choose winner.
Ooh, the winner of the Curse of Strahd Fantasy Forge dice giveaway
Who is it?
is a new winner I don't think we've ever had before.
New winner.
Lightning Wolf 777. Congratulations,
Lightning Wolf.
Lightning Wolf.
Dope.
Our
Neat.
stream director
Yeah.
Robbie is going to contact you on the back end of Twitch. I think it's called Whispers.
whispers.
He's
Yeah.
going to whisper to you on Twitch, just like he whispers. He will whisper things into the microphone in the future. That's nobody knows about that.
I can't wait for that stream.
Congratulations to you, Lightning Wolf. We will contact you to see where we need to send these dice. Also, while we're on the subject of sending things, because of the position that we are now in with this lovely set and this lovely new place with this lovely cat and these lovely people, we have gone very, not fully, because like obviously we still have sponsors here and there for different things, but we do not have any monetary sponsors. We are, for lack of a better term, basically fully independent. And because of that, and because shipping is what it is right now, we're going to go to monthly shipments for giveaways. So do we want to say end of the month or beginning of the month?
Let's go to end because we're into this one already.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So
let's
yeah,
go to end.
at the end of the month, we're going to send out all of our giveaways, which I think will either be anywhere from 8 to 6. We're not sure if we're doing every other for some of them,
Yeah.
but there's going to continue to be Fantasy Forge dice giveaway every single week.
Just give us more time to ship them.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying
Because
here.
if you win multiple
It's a lot
times,
work.
the shipping back and forth, you get it like once a week kind of a thing.
Yeah, and
It's
once
We're
we
just to
basically a
charge it up.
subscription box.
Yeah. So keep your eye on the whispers because we can contact you and give you tracking information and things of that nature so that you can be on top of it, just as we are.
And just like a subscription box, you should resubscribe.
Resubscribe.
Oh yeah, you probably should.
Yeah.
If your subscription is up, you can subscribe free every month, once a month, with Twitch Prime, which is when you link your Twitch account and your Amazon Prime account and use those Bezos bucks to help a bro out.
That's us. We're a bro.
We're
We're
bro.
the bros.
We did not get enough keep goings.
Going.
No,
To
we
That's
don't.
bully the
okay.
DM.
That's okay.
That's
this is a
fine.
good place to stop.
That's fine.
Okay.
It is.
But don't
Fine.
forget to hop into our Discord and let us know here if you're interested in merch, so we can get those.
We got a couple of those in there already. That's
Yeah.
all.
We can get those numbers in, and hopefully watch our socials, and we'll put up a link to make those orders as soon as they're available.
Yeah. Oh, and if you haven't been tuned in during either the pre-roll or the mid-roll, keep your eyes on the post-roll, because we do have some mock-ups of what that merch might look like. So if you want to see what you're in for and make a decision, and then go to our About page on Twitch and join our Discord and let us know that you want it, you can do that too.
I just thought of one. What if it was? There's companies that make shirts like that, where you can put whatever you want.
That's
in
what
the
Sam's
image.
been talking about
I've
for
been
weeks.
begging for it.
Yeah.
But like our shapes or the
Yes.
little
Yeah.
spindle.
Please.
Yes.
Stop talking about the merch on the stream.
We'll get
This
to
is
you guys
this is
with
for
more
our
merch.
combo run. We'll talk about this next Sunday.
Oh yeah. Also, if you have any questions regarding tonight's show, well, you can answer those in our Combo-Rama if you want to put that in the Combo-Rama channel in our Discord.
Yeah.
And we're going. Have we started posting those?
We have not yet.
No.
And I may have missed one of those
Yeah.
Hopefully the
VODs.
first.
But I have two, for sure.
But those will end up being posted on YouTube, correct?
Yes.
So if you know that you can't be there on Sunday for our Combo-Rama, but you have a question that you need answered, you can ask it in the Discord. We'll probably get to it and answer it, and then when it shows up on YouTube, you can watch it and see what the
See
answers
your
I mean,
are.
question.
let's be real with it. Like a lot of this is like the community is small, so our giveaways are trying to be thinned a little bit out and
Yeah.
shipping at the end of the month. And same with the our convert. We're going to answer every
Yeah,
question that's
yeah.
put in there.
Yeah.
Let's just put it plain
Yeah.
and simple.
We love questions.
Before we sign off, I just want to shout out from today. Thank you to 11-Day-Old Kobold for subscribing. I'm not sure if that's you subscribing again, but thank you so much for the subscription. We very much appreciate it. Also, big shout out to our new followers, Natty Joanna, BCF 0040, and Lightning Wolf 777.
Oh my god.
Yay,
Welcome.
thank you.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you all next Saturday. But until then, stay safe
Safe
out
out
there,
there,
adventurers.
Yes.
We're never gonna catch up.
Rainbow, don't do it.